taking a first mover advantage of going and seeing how they can promote businesses between the East African community.
This week on Inside Government, we're talking to the Principal Secretary in the State Department of EAC, Dr. Kevin Desai, on the importance of DRC Congo becoming a member of the East African community and what does this mean for Kenya. Watch the conversation right here on KBC Channel 1.
Ni Maya tena?
Hapana, si Maya.
Unajua once wapenzi wawili wakifanya kazi pamoja kuna na challenge nyingi sana.
Naona hivi karibuni tutakosana. Utakuwa rafiki na mimi.
Wewe mimi nakuogopa mimi.
Hanipigi. Njoo nipige basi unipe raha. Wanitishia mimi? Wewe wanitishia mimi? Kumbe wote shika.
The Finance Bill, National Assembly Bill number 22 of 2022, has been debated for the second reading, and what remains now is the question to be put for the members to decide on whether or not this bill should proceed to the Committee of the Whole House. That business is coming at order number 9. And at order number 10 will be a special motion on the report of the vetting of nominees for appointment as ambassadors, high commissioners, and permanent representatives. This special motion will be moved by the chairperson, Departmental Committee on Defense and Foreign Relations, that taking into considerations the finding of the Departmental Committee in its report on the vetting of nominees for approval as ambassadors, high commissioners, and permanent representatives laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, May 24th, 2022, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 132, subsection 2E of the Constitution, Section 20, subsection 2 of the Foreign Service Act of 2021, and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act of 2011, this House approves the appointment of the following persons as ambassadors, high commissioners, and permanent representatives. Ambassadors and high commissioners whose names were forwarded to Parliament for vetting, and they were vetted, include Clement Nzomo Kiteme, who has been nominated to head Kenya's mission in Angola; Mary Mugwanja, Austria; Professor Bitange Ndemo, Belgium; Mudhoni Gishohi, China; Ambassador Gathoga Chege, Cuba; Ambassador Salim Salim, Djibouti; Major General Ayub G. Matiri, Egypt; Ambassador Galma Boru, Indonesia; Mr. Paul Ndungu, Mozambique; Margaret Shava, Netherlands; Mr. Michael Selai, who has been serving as the clerk of the National Assembly, was nominated to Namibia; Major General retired Andrew Kenya, Nigeria; Amina Abdallah, Sultanate of Oman; Ambassador Nyambura Kamau, Pakistan; Boniface Mwilu, Qatar; Michael Oyugi, Spain; Major General retired Thomas Chepkuto, Somalia; Leonard Boyo, Turkey; Major General retired George Owino, Uganda; and Professor Richard Bosire, who was nominated to be a permanent representative and ambassador or permanent representative to the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, who was also vetted by the committee, and his name appears in the order of business this afternoon. Closing the list is Major General retired Charles Gitwai, who was nominated as ambassador, permanent representative to the Intergovernmental Authority for Development, IGAD. If you're just joining us, this is the live coverage of the National Assembly proceedings. And just to mention, this morning Parliament did convene a national prayer breakfast where leaders came together to pray for the country and spread their peace messages under the stewardship of the two speakers of Parliament, the National Assembly headed by Justin Muturi, the Honourable, and Kenneth Makelo Lusaka, the Honourable Speaker of the Senate.
Let us pray. Almighty God, who in your wisdom and goodness have appointed the office of leaders and parliaments for the welfare of society and the just government of the people, we beseech you to behold with your abundant favor us, your servants, whom you've been pleased to call to the performance of important trust in this republic. Let your blessings descend upon us here assembled, and grant that we treat and consider all matters that shall come at our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote your honor and glory, to advance the peace, prosperity, and welfare of our country and of those whose interests are committed to our church. Amen. So there are times to ring the quorum bell.
If you're just joining us, this is the live coverage of the National Assembly proceedings on this 26th day of May 2022. The House lacks the required quorum needed for business to commence. According to the standing orders, the number required for business to begin in the National Assembly is 50. So the quorum bell is currently ringing, and what happens behind the scenes is that respective leadership of the House tries to mobilize the members to walk into the chambers, take their seat, and allow the business of the National Assembly to begin. There is a lot to transact this afternoon. There on your screen is the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, Honourable Moses Chiboy. And this afternoon, at Order number 11, the Statute Law Miscellaneous Amendments Bill, National Assembly Bill number 26 of 2022, will be read for the first time. The Statute Law Miscellaneous Amendment Bill 2022 seeks to make various amendments to various statutes. It is in keeping with the practice of making minor amendments which do not merit the publication of separate bills into one bill. The bill contains proposed amendments to a number of statutes, among them the Vexatious Proceedings Act Cap 41 and the Penal Code Cap 63, the Criminal Procedure Code Cap 75, the Extradition Commonwealth Countries Act Cap 77, where the bill proposes to amend the Extradition Commonwealth Countries Act to harmonize its provisions with the functions of the Director of Public Prosecutions under Article 157 of the Constitution. Another statute which this bill seeks to amend is the Evidence Act Cap 80, the National Flag, Emblems and Names Act Cap 99, the Official Secrets Act Cap 187, the Geneva Conventions Act Cap 198, where it seeks to harmonize its provisions with the functions of the Director of Public Prosecutions under Article 157 of the Constitution as well. It also seeks to amend the Pharmacies and Poisons Act Cap 244, I beg your pardon, the Mental Health Act Cap 248, the Land Consolidation Act Cap 283, as well as the Land Adjudication Act Cap 284, among other statutes which this bill seeks to amend. This afternoon, the House will be sitting in the Committee of Supply to consider estimates of recurrent and development expenditure for the year ending 30th June 2023. Now, this part of the business is the one that necessitated the procedural motion, which will be moved this afternoon by the leader of the majority party, that the House do extend its sittings until the business that appears at Order 13 is dispensed with. It is the Committee of Supply, and the members will be considering the estimates of recurrent and development expenditure for the year ended 30th June 2023. It is a lot of ground to cover, and the members will be getting into that business as soon as they get to that particular section of the business this afternoon. We are waiting for quorum of the National Assembly to be achieved, and as it stands, it hasn't been achieved, and there is a lot of effort that is being put in place to ensure that the members who are within the precincts of Parliament do walk into the chamber and take their rightful places to allow business to commence. A number of them are coming in. The Member of Parliament for Roysambu constituency is among those who are walking into the chambers to take their seats. They are the Narok North Member of Parliament, Honorable Kenta, has also walked into the chamber to take a seat. We are still waiting for the numbers to show up, and as soon as that happens, I will hand you over for this live broadcast of the National Assembly proceedings. The Chairperson, Public Accounts Committee, will also move a motion on the report on the examination of the financial statements for the national government for the financial year 2018-2019, and the Chairperson Committee on Member Services and Facilities will also move a motion on study visit to the Legislative Assembly of Alberta, Canada. The Supreme Court Amendment Bill, National Assembly Bill number 15 of 2022 is also in the order of business, and that bill has been scheduled for debate for the second reading. Another bill other bills which have been scheduled for debate for the second reading include the Kenya Roads Board Amendment Bill number 13 of 2022. This is a National Assembly bill. The Prompt Payment Bill, Senate Bills number 16 of 2021. The Mung Beans Bill, Senate Bills number 9 of 2020. The County Boundaries Bill, Senate Bills number 20 of 2021. Those are bills which already originated from the Senate. They've already been debated and passed by the Senate, and been referred to the National Assembly for concurrence, and they have been lined up for debate as well in the lengthy order of business this afternoon, which includes the consideration of the estimates that the government of Kenya ought to spend in the coming financial year. It is the Committee of Supply first allotted day, and just to take a look at what is contained in the document, the Executive Office of the President, according to vote 10011 that the sum not exceeding 23 billion shillings be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of the vote 1011, Executive Office of the President. And at vote 1021 is the State Department for Interior and Citizen Services that a sum not exceeding 143 billion shillings, 143.5 billion shillings be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent and development during the next financial year, which ends on 30th June 2023 in respect of the vote 1021, that is the State Department for Interior and Citizen Services. At vote 1023 is the State Department for Correctional Services, which has been allocated 32.2 billion shillings. The State Department for Devolution has been allocated 1.7 billion shillings to be issued from the consolidated fund as well to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure that is recurrent and development. At vote 1035 is the State Department for Development of the Arid and Semi-Arid Lands, which has been allocated some 10 billion shillings, 10.4 billion shillings. And at vote 1041 is the Ministry of Defence, which according to the document has been allocated 131.68 billion shillings. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, that is vote 1052, has been allocated 19 billion shillings. That is to be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023. To vote 1064 is the State Department for Vocational and Technical Training, which has been allocated 24 billion shillings. The State Department for University Education 109.8 billion. The State Department for Early Learning and Basic Education 110.6 billion to be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure of the State Department. At vote 1068 is State Department for Post-Training and Skills Development, which has been allocated 356.6 million. At vote 1069 is State Department for Implementation of Curriculum Reforms, which has been allocated 339.2 million. At vote 1071 is the National Treasury, which according to the document which the members of Parliament will be considering this afternoon, the National Treasury has been allocated 174.3 billion. At vote 1072 is the State Department for Planning, which has been allocated 49.08 billion. At vote 1081 is the Ministry of Health, which has been allocated 122.5 billion. Vote 1091 State Department for Infrastructure has been allocated 221.2 billion shillings to be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent and development. The State Department for Transport has been allocated 10.9 billion. The State Department for Shipping and Maritime has been allocated 3.36 billion. The State Department for Housing and Urban Development 20.3 billion. The State Department for Public Works 4.69 billion. The Ministry of Environment and Forestry, which comes at vote 1108, has been allocated 15.255 billion. The Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation has been allocated 83.9 billion shillings. The Ministry of Lands and Physical Planning has been allocated 5.9 billion, according to the document which the members will be considering this afternoon. At vote 1122 is the State Department for Information, Communication Technology and Innovation, which has been allocated 19.2 billion. The State Department for Broadcasting and Telecommunications has been allocated 7.5 billion to be issued from the Consolidated Fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect to vote 1123. The State Department for Sports has been allocated 17.4 billion. The State Department for Culture and Heritage 3.1 billion. The Ministry of Energy 95.6 billion. Of course, there are some millions which also comes as part of this figure, but the members will be deciding. On your screen, there are some members. There on your screen is the Member of Parliament for Tongaren, Honorable Eseli Simiyu. Is trying to mobilize other members to come into the chambers to allow the House to quorate for business of the National Assembly to begin this afternoon. The State Department for Livestock has been allocated 7.2 billion shillings. The State Department for Fisheries, Aquaculture and the Blue Economy has been allocated 10.4 billion shillings. The State Department for Crop Development and Agricultural Research has been allocated 41.5 billion shillings, according to the estimates which will be debated and considered this afternoon by the National Assembly. If you're just joining us, we're waiting for the House to achieve the requisite quorum, which has not yet been achieved. And you can watch this broadcast live on KBC Channel 1. The broadcast is also available on the go on YouTube, courtesy of the Parliament of Kenya YouTube channel. The State Department for Industrialization has been allocated 7.1 billion shillings. The Ministry of Labour 3.4 billion. The State Department for Social Protection, Senior Citizens Affairs and Special Programs has been allocated 34.6 billion, according to the estimates. The Ministry of Petroleum and Mining 9.2 billion shillings. The State Department for Tourism 9.028 billion. The quorum has been achieved.
Very well. And members, now we have the requisite quorum. I have a feeling that the incoming Parliament may have to consider whether it is necessary to have a quorum at all times if you're not voting. I think the practice in many jurisdictions of the world is that quorum is only necessary when you are making a decision. But it may be it's like one of those things that perhaps may require to be tested through some judicial pronouncements to avoid a situation of where the House sits, takes some certain decision, and then somebody says that they were not sufficiently correct. But I think it's one of those things. we may commence.
Order number 1, administration of oath. Order number 2, communication from the chair.
Member for Motata, tafadhali. Member for Tieti, please be in the House. Honourable members, as you are aware, the term of the 12th Parliament ends on Monday, 8th August 2022 at midnight, pursuant to the provisions of Article 102 of the Constitution. Additionally, the 6th and final session of the 12th Parliament is at its home stretch, with a sine die recess due to commence on Friday, 10th June 2022, in accordance with the calendar of the House. In this regard, honourable members, on behalf of the Presidium, I take this early opportunity to commend you all for showing leadership, contributing immensely to the development of law in our country, besides deliberating on and resolving issues affecting the people of the country and the economy, our relations with our neighbors, and putting Kenya in a better place within the community of nations in the last 5 years. Honourable members, in view of the imminent recess and the requirements of Standing Order 200A relating to exit reports, committees are obligated to table exit reports containing work they have done during the term, indicating any pending matters before them, and detailing reasons for inability to complete the work. Therefore, in keeping with the requirements of the same provision of our standing orders, all committee chairpersons will be accorded an opportunity to table their respective exit reports during the sittings of the House of Tuesday 7th, Wednesday 8th, and Thursday 9th of June 2022. Honourable members, this requirement also applies to the recognized parliamentary caucuses and friendship groups provided for in Standing Order 259A. In addition, honourable members, the Clerk of the National Assembly shall in due course issue formal notifications to all members on the usual transition arrangements and clearance processes by individual members ahead of the end of the term of this Parliament. The House is accordingly guided. I thank you, members.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
Deputy Speaker.
I thank you, Mr. Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the House today, Thursday, 26th May 2022, the 5th report of the Procedure and House Rules Committee on amendments to the standing orders.
I hope honourable members take note of that. It's going to look at that report. I have heard some of you quite confidently and proudly say that you're only waiting to be sworn in on or before 9th of September. So those of you that have made that kind of decision to be back here, please look at that report. You see the proposals for amendment to the standing orders to be applied by the 13th Parliament, as is a tradition. It is the normal tradition. Next week, we will be sitting here to debate that report as well as go through the proposals to amend certain aspects of the standing orders. Next order. No, sorry. The Vice Chairperson, the Committee on Energy. There are to table a report on the public petition number 002 of 2022 by Mwangaza Abunya Community Development Group. Who's the chair of that committee now? You know, there have been so many changes. You can hardly tell who's who. Oh, Honorable Kioni is the chair. Or does he? Or he must have decided to exit. Also inform him that he will be required then to also present an exit report, even as he exits for the committee. But he should have a vice chair, isn't it? Or any other member of the committee who could act as an agent of necessity. Very well. Let's move to the next order then.
Order number 6, notices of motion.
Deputy Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, I beg to give notice of the following motion, that this House adopts the 5th report of the Procedure and House Rules Committee on amendments to the standing orders laid on the table of the House on today, Thursday, 26th May 2022, and pursuant to provisions of Standing Order 264, approves the proposed amendments to the standing order as contained in the 5th schedule to the report, and further resolves that Roman 1, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 265, amendments made to the standing order shall commence upon expiry of the term of the 12th Parliament, and Roman 2, despite paragraph 1, the proposed standing orders 259F5, which is the members biodata and roll, shall take effect immediately. I thank you.
Well, next order.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
Honourable members, before we move to questions and statements, member from Vita, or you are through with today's afternoon session? Oh, I see. See, honourable members, allow me to recognize the presence in the Speaker's Gallery of students from Ogande Girls High School, Homa Bay Town constituency, Homa Bay County. They are welcome to observe the proceedings of the House this afternoon. No, honourable members, you know, I'm unable to see what is on the screen here. Screen. It means people must be here with their cards. The Honorable Wanga has forgotten how to use the card. Honorable Gladys Wanga, because I know you have some other business here, please proceed.
Thank you so much, Honorable Speaker. I've been in the village quite a bit. Be forgiven for missing the card, but I wanted to take this opportunity to welcome girls from Ogande Girls in Homa Bay County. We are really proud of them. It's a school that we are really proud of because it also produced Honorable Her Excellency Dr. Ida Odinga went to school there, and it's one of such schools. So we are really, really proud of the girls. I just wanted to use this opportunity to tell them, to encourage them by telling them that let them work hard, remain disciplined. They will move from sitting up there to sitting down here one day, and the sky is the lower limit. I thank you, the Honorable Speaker.
Very well. But the member for Nyando, what have you to say about the school?
Honorable Speaker, on the same breath, allow me to join you in welcoming our beautiful girls from Ogande Girls. Ogande is an infamous school known for its academic prowess, and famous and infamous mean the same thing. Yes, just like flammable and inflammable. So I welcome them to the August House, and just as my sister Gladys Wanga has said, this is a school where the incoming First Lady of the Republic of Kenya, Mama Ida Odinga, schooled. So it is a testament. It's a testament that this is not a school of mean repute. And we just want to encourage them to focus on their studies, not just necessarily to come to this august house, but to engage in other professions that will ultimately make you a better citizen and a responsible citizen. Honorable Speaker, if you allow me, I had actually put this a little earlier, not knowing about this, but just give me 1 minute to say this, that the National Police Service has continued to do a splendid job protecting the citizens and their property, Honorable Speaker. I read a response by the National Police Service about one member of Parliament who, in the Senate, who made unsavory remarks about the National Police Service. This is utterly unacceptable, Honorable Speaker. They have continued to protect our lives. Even the members of this House continue to have 24-hour protection by the National Police Service. And for one to demean the participatory role of the police service is utterly unacceptable, Honorable Speaker. And therefore, on behalf of the members of this House and members of the Senate, let me express our apologies and say that what he said, what that particular senator said, is not representative of...
Sorry, honourable members. You see, honourable members, let me just caution you. I know many of you have been, I think you are beginning to forget our rules as you near the exit. Surely to talk about a senator, a sitting senator, without a substantive motion again is not allowed. And you shouldn't... No, there's no debate on that. Sorry, there's no debate. Honorable Kilonzo, no debate. Next order. Questions.
Yeah.
Honourable members, Honourable Kilonzo, we will hear you, but not now. I have noticed a trend that we spent close to 15 minutes ringing the bell for quorum. And as soon as we attain quorum, within 5 minutes, we again lose it. So please allow me to rearrange business. I will allow you to raise your point of order. Allow me to rearrange the business so that I can be able to put the question on one of the businesses. So that before we go to the order number 7 and the points of orders, we go to business appearing as order number 9, which is, I believe, the reason why the Honorable Wanga is around. And 10. 9 and 10. Please.
Order number 9, the Finance Bill, National Assembly Bill number 22 of 2022, second reading. Question to be put.
Honorable Kilonzo, don't quarrel with me. From me, I'm able to see when we are likely to lose quorum. So please, it's for good measure. So, honorable members, debate on this motion was concluded yesterday, and what remains was the question to be put, which could not have been put because there was no quorum. Now that we have quorum, and before we lose it, let me put the question, which is that the Finance Bill, National Assembly Bill number 22 of 2022, be now read a second time. Will as many as that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to amend the laws relating to various taxes and duties and for matters incidental thereto.
Next.
Order number 10, special motion. Report on the vetting of nominees for appointment as ambassadors, high commissioners, and permanent representatives.
Please, why don't you just take your seats, eh? Honorable Gladwell Cheruiyot, you can assume the role of the... Honourable members, again, debate on this motion was concluded, and what remained is for the question to be put, which I hereby do. That taking into consideration the findings of the Departmental Committee on Defense and Foreign Relations In its report on the vetting of nominees for approval as ambassadors, high commissioners, and permanent representatives laid on the table of the House on Tuesday, May 24, 2022, and pursuant to the provisions of Article 132, Clause 2, Paragraph C of the Constitution, Section 20, Subsection 2 of the Foreign Service Act of 2021, and Section 3 and 8 of the Public Appointments Parliamentary Approval Act of 2011, this House approves the appointment of the following persons as ambassadors, high commissioners, and permanent representatives. 1. Mr. Clement Nzomo Kiteme, Station Angola. 2. Ms. Mary Mugwanja, Station Austria. 3. Professor Bitange Demo, Station Belgium. 4. Ms. Mudhoni Gichoi, Station China. 5. Ambassador Gadhoga Chege, Station Cuba. 6. Ambassador Salim Salim, Station Djibouti. 7. Major General Ayub G. Matiri, Station Egypt. 8. Ambassador Galma Boru, Station Indonesia. 9. Mr. Paul Dongo, Station Mozambique. 10. Ms. Margaret Shava, Station Netherlands. 11. Mr. Michael Sialai, Station Namibia. Thank you. 12. Major General Retired Andrew Ikenye, Station Nigeria. 13. Ms. Amina Abdallah, Station Sultanate of Oman. 14. Ambassador Nyambura Kamau, Station Pakistan. 15. Mr. Boniface N. Mwilu, Station Qatar. 16. Ambassador Michael Oyugi, Station Spain. 17. Major General Retired Thomas Chepkuto, Station Somalia. 18. Mr. Leonard Boyo, Station Turkey. 19. Major General Retired General Owino, Station Uganda. 20. Professor Richard Bosire, Ambassador / Permanent Representative to UNESCO. 21. Major General Retired Charles Gitwai, Ambassador / Permanent Representative to IGAD. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Honour members, now we can.
Order number 7, questions and statements.
So, okay, sorry, honour members, before you move, please, there is also a request, and I think it's a fair request, on the business appearing as order number 12. Can you call it out?
Order number 12, motion, implementation status of the reports on a petition on irregular renewal of leases of land by Del Monte Kenya Limited and eviction of workers from their land in Roysambu by KDF. Question of the proposed amendment to be put.
See, I do. Let me just finish it. Honour members, this question relates to an amendment proposed to this report by the leader of the majority party. And therefore, the question is that the report be amended as proposed by the Honorable Kimunya, the leader of the majority party. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? Nay. Honour members, Honourable members, let me just put the question again. No?
They don't understand it.
Now, honourable members, for those. Now, honourable members, for those. The member for Roysambu, the royal suburbs. You see, it may well be in your constituency, but remember, at this stage, you really have no role. I can read the report as it is, as prepared by the Committee on Implementation, the Honourable Ole Kenta. But it is that report that the leader of the majority party, the Honourable Kimunya, wishes to amend. And the amendment was moved, but the question was not put on account that there was no quorum. One of you raised the issue of quorum. Now that the House has quorum, so that we can be able to progress this motion, either as amended or as in its original form. Now, honourable members, let me just read a portion of the motion so that those of you may not know. This report, honourable members. Honourable members, this report is titled. The motion reads as follows: Implementation status for the reports on a petition on irregular renewal of leases of land by Del Monte Kenya Limited and the eviction of workers from their land in Roysambu by KDF. The question is that this House adopts a report with the Committee on Implementation on its consideration of the implementation status of the reports of the Departmental Committee on Lands laid on the table of the House on Wednesday, December 22nd, 2021, on the following subjects. Number one, the petition on the irregular renewal of leases of land by Del Monte Kenya Limited. And number two, petition by former workers of the late Mayor Jacob Samuels regarding the invasion and the eviction of the workers from their land in Roysambu constituency by the Kenya Defence Forces. It is assumed that members are aware of the amendment moved by the leader of the majority party. Yeah? No, but you know, it's never the business of the chair to keep reading everything. It is assumed that members are constantly updated. So, it is now the proposal by the Honourable Kimunya, the leader of the majority party, which I will be putting the question on. Yeah? So, the question is, the motion be amended as proposed by the leader of the majority party, the Honourable Kimunya. Will as many as that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as the counter opinion say nay? Nay. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. I'm trying to avoid it. How many, sorry, just are the members standing, rising to claim a division? You don't have the numbers. You're only 6. You don't have the numbers. So the amendment by the Honourable Kimunya is carried. Yes. Yes. The amendment by the Honourable Kimunya is carried. On that, so the motion, the debate of the motion, if at all, will proceed as amended. Now we are now. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that one. So, honor members, we go back to order number 7, which is questions. And the first question is by the member for Hakuna question? Sorry, honor members, there are no questions. There is a statement by the member for Molo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2C, I rise to request a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Defense and Foreign Relations regarding visa fees collected from unsuccessful Kenyans who apply to travel abroad. Honorable Speaker, it is of great concern that the Kenyans intending to travel to destinations out of the country are subjected to a very expensive visa application process. It costs a hardworking Kenyan an average of 160 USDs, that's around 20,000 shillings for US visa, 128 USD for UK visa, 96 USD for Schengen visa, and 116 USD for Canadian visa, just to mention but a few. Out of the numerous Kenyans who apply for these visas, Honorable Speaker, only a few are successful. Honorable Speaker, it is against this background that I seek a statement from the chairperson of the Departmental Committee on Defense and Foreign Relations on the following. 1, could the chairperson provide the statistics of Kenyans who applied for visa to travel to the US, UK, Canada, and countries covered by a Schengen visa, vis-a-vis the number of those that were successful? Number 2, Honorable Speaker, could the chairperson clarify whether the government has any long-term plan to reduce the double loss the struggling Kenyans, especially students, who lose their hard-earned cash in the name of visa fees and at the same time loses an opportunity to acquire a visa? Number 3, Honorable Speaker, could the chairperson explain whether the relevant ministry is considering introducing a policy where unsuccessful visa applicants can get a percentage reimbursement of their visa charges? And with that, I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
How long do you think, Honorable Tongi, the chair of the Defense and Foreign Relations, you can respond to that?
We look into it, Honorable Speaker, and we should be able to get a response in 2 weeks. Yes, it's a process.
Very well. 2 weeks it is. The next is a statement by the Leader of the Majority Party on behalf of the House Business Committee. Majority Whip.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, on behalf of the Majority Leader. Honorable Speaker, pursuant to the provisions of Standing Order 44-2A, I rise to give the following statement on behalf of the House Business Committee, which met on Tuesday, 23rd May 2022, to prioritize the business for consideration. Honorable Speaker, as members may have noted, a significant portion of the time of the House has been allocated to consideration of the budget estimates for the financial year 2022-23. I am glad that several members were able to make significant contributions to this crucial business during the general debate on both the annual estimates and the Finance Bill 2022. Currently, we are at the Committee of Supply stage in accordance with the provisions of Section 39 of the Public Finance Management Act 2012 and Standing Order 239. I therefore urge members to be patient today and support the House in finalizing the critical part of the budget approval process. Honorable Speaker, on Tuesday next week,
So Dakta, hujambo na karibu sana katika matangazo haya ya moja kwa moja. Tunakujia moja kwa moja kutoka katika ikulu ya Nairobi, ambapo Rais Uhuru Kenyatta anatarajiwa leo hii kuweza kuzindua rasmi na kupokea rasmi kipute ama kombe la dunia ambalo limefika nchini Kenya. Lilifika mwendo wa saa 6 na dakika 10 ambapo ndege iliyokuwa imeibeba iliweza kufika katika uwanja wa Jomo Kenyatta International Airport Nairobi, na moja kwa moja ikaletwa hapa katika ikulu ya rais. Tunatarajia Rais Uhuru Kenyatta, hali kadhalika mawaziri wakiongozwa na waziri wa michezo ambaye si mwingine ila ni Ambassador Amina Mohamed, ambaye tayari kwa sasa wameshafika hapa ni kukagua tu gwaride hiyo, alafu kisha baadaye tupate fursa ya kuweza kupata kushuhudia kombe hili la dunia. Nitakujuza tu japo kiduchu kwamba ilikuwa ni mwaka 2010 ambapo kwa mara ya kwanza kabisa kombe hilo liliweza kufika katika taifa la Kenya. Wakati huo hayati Rais Mwai Kibaki ndo alikuwa wa kwanza kuweza kushuhudia na kushika kombe hilo. Alafu mwaka 2014 pia ikawa ni fursa nzuri sana kwa Rais Uhuru Kenyatta ambaye atakuwa anaishika kwa mara ya kwanza. Na arifiwa kwamba kombe hilo limesindikizwa pia na moja kati ya mababe wa soka ambao ni moja kati ya wanamichezo wa Brazil ambao wanasindikiza kombe hilo. Hiyo kesho basi wa Kenya watapata fursa kabambe ya kuweza kufanya nini, kupiga picha na kombe hilo katika ukumbi ama majengo ya KICC. Lakini kama ilivyo ni papa hapa ambapo ndo Rais Uhuru Kenyatta anatarajiwa leo hii kuweza kuzindua rasmi kombe hilo ambalo limefika Kenya na linatarajiwa elekea pia nchini Afrika ya Kusini hiyo kesho, alafu baadaye pia litakuwa rudi tena nchini Tanzania, na ni mataifa kadha wa kadha, takriban mataifa yote ambayo yanahusikana na FIFA yatapata fursa ya kuweza kulitazama na kwa sasa ni Afrika, alafu South Africa, Kenya na Tanzania. Kumbuka ni kombe ambalo litaandaliwa baadaye, kipute ambacho kitaandaliwa baadaye sana mwaka huu, mwishoni mwa mwaka huu huko Qatar, baada ya mataifa husika kuweza kupata fursa ya kuweza jionea na kushuhudia pia kombe hilo katika awamu hii, wakati ambapo tunatarajia kipute cha kombe la dunia kuandaliwa huko Qatar. Hivyo basi japo kiduchu tu ni kwamba tuko hapa katika ikulu ya rais, na kama unavyosikiza kwenye background ni State House Choir ambayo wamefika hapa makusudi kuweza kutumbuiza na kushuhudia kombe hili ambalo limeletwa kwa niaba na kwa limeletwa kwa ushirikiano mkubwa sana wa kampuni ya Coca-Cola, hali kadhalika serikali ya Kenya ikiongozwa na wizara ya michezo ikiongozwa naye Ambassador Amina Mohamed. Ni shughuli pevu ambayo ipo kwa sasa. Tunamsubiri Rais Uhuru Kenyatta aweze kutoa hotuba yake, wakati pia Ambassador Amina Mohamed pia ataweza kuzungumza. Na nilikuwa tu nimeshuhudia timu ambazo zimefika hapa. Kulikuwepo na zile teams ambazo zimefika hapa makusudi kuweza kufanya ile kucheza mechi ya dakika chache tu kutumbuiza. Alafu pia nimeona magwiji ambao wamefika hapa wakiongozwa na Bobby Ogola, Musa Otieno ambaye ameichezea Kenya tangia mwaka 1992 akiwa na umri mdogo sana wa miaka 18, miaka 19, na wamefika tu hapa makusudi kuweza kuwamotisha wale vijana ambao wana ari na nia na ndoto pia za kuweza kucheza soka za kimataifa na ya kitaifa pia. Na ni jambo nzuri sana kwa sababu FIFA wamefika hapa wenyewe licha ya Kenya kupigwa marufuku baada ya Ambassador Amina Mohamed kuweza kufutilia mbali FKF, ile timu ya FKF. Hili linaonesha kwamba bado FIFA wanatambua taifa hili la Kenya makusudi kutupatia sisi fursa kama moja kati ya mataifa yanayo ushirikiano na taifa na FIFA kunradhi, moja kati ya mataifa ambayo ni wanachama wa FIFA. Hivyo basi tunasubiri Rais Uhuru Kenyatta na washikadau wa soka katika taifa la Kenya. Leo hii ni siku nyingine tena ya kihistoria. Tuone ni yapi yatakayosemwa, ni yapi yatakayozungumzwa. Nimekujuza leo ni Ikulu, alafu hiyo kesho tutakuwa tunakwenda KICC ambapo raia watapata fursa kabambe ya kuweza kuitazama kombe hilo na pia kupiga picha na kombe hilo. Lakini kumbuka ni wale wateule pekee wakiwemo marais wa nchi ndo wanakubaliwa pekee kuweza kushika kombe hilo, na washindi wa zamani ambao ni tuseme mabingwa wa kombe hilo pia wanatarajiwa, yani wanaruhusiwa kuweza kufanya nini? Kushika kombe hilo. Na mmoja kati ya wale ambao wamefika hapa ni Ambassador wa heri njema wa kombe hilo ambaye aliwahi kushinda kombe hilo Brazil, Paleti mwenyewe atakuwepo hapa na maksudi kuweza kusindikiza tu kombe hili kabla ya kuandaliwa kwa kipute cha kombe la dunia baadaye mwaka huu Disemba huko nchini Qatar. Hivyo basi wewe tegea manake shughuli ndo ishaanza kwa sasa. Rais Uhuru Kenyatta amewasili hapa akiongoza wadau wengine wa soka na mawaziri pia ambao wamefika hapa makusudi kuweza kutizama na kushuhudia kipute cha kombe la dunia ambacho kimefika katika taifa la Kenya, na kurejesha moja kwa moja hadi studio. Lakini bado nimekita kambi hapa, nitakujuza ni yapi ambayo yatakuwa yanajiri. Mimi ni Isaac Lemoka kutoka State House, Nairobi.
The music director. Haya, nitakuwa nakupatia lineup haraka. Coca-Cola wanavaa nyekundu, timu ya wazee wanavaa kijani kibichi. 7 aside. Haraka nikupatia lineup, nikianza na upande wa timu ya Coca-Cola. Goalkeeper Thomas Otieno Jr. Inua mkono Thomas, namna gani wewe? Omar Lule, Victor Atemo, Sospita Malo, Ryan Mwangi, Jeff Kigo pamoja na Isaac Kimathi. Pande wa vijana wa jana Harambee Stars. Goalkeeper Anthony Fire, Julius Owino, Jeff Oyando, Noah Abich, Alfred Chege pamoja na Charles Okwemba. Ladies and gentlemen, the guys in green, the pride of Kenya for some years, and of course, the captain Musa Otieno. Pole sana. The striker is George Maina, the current coach at Tusker FC. Nam George Maina, Musa Otieno, Jeffrey Oyando. Nitakuwa nakupatia matangazo kwa lugha ya Kiswahili. Anatoka Noah Beach kwake Jeffrey Oyando. Oyando badilisha kitu kule kumtafuta Musa Otieno. Otieno Julius Owino Gor Mahia anampa Abich Tusker Musa Otieno weka pembezoni kule. Namna gani kule Maina? Namna gani? Nini? La haula wala quwata. Wanaanza tena kule Coca-Cola nyuma kabisa kule Omar Lule na mwaga ngizi ndefu kule pembezoni kumtafuta Ryan Mwangi, anakosa mpira unaenda nje. Usisahau kwamba center referee June Ogola, who is also the music director, one of the best referees that Kenya has ever produced. Maina anachukua tena kule Isaac Kimathi Sospita Malo katikati mwa uwanja. Wanaanza kujisikia nyumbani hapa vijana wa Coca-Cola. Kumbuka ni mechi ya kirafiki. Wanaanza tena kule Maina, George Maina, kocha mdogo wa timu ya Tanzania. Goal kick. George Maina is the current assistant coach of Tusker FC, the league champions of Kenya. Wanaanza tena ngoma nyuma kule goalkeeper Thomas Otieno. Goalkeeper who is also the captain. Anavuta kasi, analeta kitu rojo kule Abich kwake Julius Owino Gor Mahia Tusker. Badilisha tena kule kumtafuta Alfred Chege, anakosa mpira unaenda nje. Asante sana, namuona waziri Balala anafurahia sana, manake ni baadhi ya watu ambao wameendeleza kandanda ya Kenya. Good job. Na vile vile namuona waziri wa michezo ambaye ambassador anatabasamu. Good job mnafanya katika masuala ya michezo mkiwa na PS wako Mheshimiwa Okudo. Haya, katikati mwa uwanja Jeffrey Oyando kwake Alfred Chege Musa Otieno nini? Tata kwake namna gani huku? Okwemba Charles Musa Otieno. Nyuma kabisa wanaanza tena kule Awilo Charles Okwemba. Unaenda nje. Mpira sasa unaanza kutokota. Dakika ya pili. Baada ya mabao Coca-Cola 0, former Harambee Stars 0. Maina anacheza visivyo. Center referee June Ogola anasema ni kabu. Wanaanza tena kule nyuma vijana wa Coca-Cola. Ryan Mwangi anabadilisha kule namna gani vijana wa Coca-Cola. Mpira unaenda nje. Haraka tena inaanza. Alfred Chege anakosa kuwajibika. Mpira unachukuliwa. Jeffrey Kigo nyuma kabisa Kigo. Jaribu tena kutoka kule kwenye eneo lake kule. Anatokeza pale Julius Owino na kata. Piga kule ndefu Alfred Chege, kijana wa Shauri Moyo, analeta. Namna gani huko? Center referee anasema penalty. Wanapata penalty hapa. Alicheza visivyo pale Sospita Malo. Inakuwa ni penalty. Anakuja kupiga penalty kule Alfred Chege ama nani yule? Noah Beach, 2007 champion of Kenya. Noah Beach wakati huo akichezea Son Sugar, anacheza Tusker, anakuja kule Beach, asante sana. Namuona pia Jaro Soja 001 mfano wa Kenya wa kwanza. Tupateni makofi hawa. Harambee Stars wanapiga bao la kwanza dakika ya 4 hii. Inaanza tena ngoma ile nyuma kabisa kule Jeffrey Oyando kwa Noah Beach, anapita Anthony Fire goalkeeper aliyekuwa goalkeeper wa timu ya FC Leopards Otieno Anabadilisha tena kule kumtoka Jeffrey Oyango. Kaska. Oyango. Leta kitu kule kwa Alfred Chege. Chege anakosa kuwajibika, mpira unatoka mguuni. Nyuma kabisa tuna kule Sospeter Maro. Dakika na chana dakika 4. Bado Harambee Stars 1, Coca-Cola 0. Anaingia kule Isaac Kimangi. Analeta kule namna gani? Tokeza vizuri kule kijana ule Julius Owino. Owino kwake Alfred Chege. Chege katikati mwa uwanja. Musa Otieno anakosa kuwajibika. Namuona nacheza visivyo pale Alfred Chege na kadi mkapu. Namuona kocha mkuu wa timu ya Coca-Cola Alpha Pidi wasiwasi unamuingia head coach wa timu hii ya Coca-Cola. Bado hajapata bao hapa vijana wa Coca-Cola. Kinaletwa kule Jeffrey Oyango anatuliza. Nyuma kabisa kwa goalkeeper wake Anthony Fire. Fire kwa Beach, Noah Beach. Beach. Awino, Julius Owino. Nyuma kabisa kwa Musa Otieno. Anaingia tena kule kwa Maina. Leta katikati huku Alfred Chege kwa Julius Owino. Wanaanza na migao yao huku vijana hawa wa Harambee Stars ex-internationals. Jafar Oyango anakosa kuwajibika, mpira unaenda nje. Bado hamna bao upande wa timu ya Coca-Cola. Musa Otieno nyuma kabisa kwa Jafar Oyango. Oyango, Alfred Chege. Chege anakosa. Hatari kule. Goal kick. Angalau anapata nafasi ya kwanza hapa Coca-Cola. Kitu kinaenda nje na kwa goal kick. Mambo mazito hapa. Naona kocha mkuu wa Coca-Cola Alpha Pidi kiti kinajaa mimba. Hapa Kaligi. Haya, sikiza goal kick ile. Wanaanza tena kule Harambee Stars. Nyuma kabisa Fire. Analeta kwa Musa Mohamed. Okwemba Charles. Anabadilisha na kule kwa Jeffrey Oyango. Oyango kwa Chege anakosa kuwajibika, kile anapelekwa chini. Referee anasema twende. Okwemba kosa kuwajibika kile kwa chini. Tupicha. Wanaanza tena miguso kule Chege, Alfred Chege, Jeffrey Oyango anakosa kuwajibika, miguso inachukuliwa pale na kijana huyu Ryan Mwangi nyuma kabisa huku. Wanaanza kutamalaki hapa vijana wa Harambee Stars kwake Maina. Namna gani George Maina? Namna gani George Maina anapata nafasi nzuri kule. Anakosa kuwajibika, mpira unaenda nje. Napiga dakika ya 7. Naona goalkeeper Coca-Cola anaitisha maji. Anaitisha dasani, manake maji ya mambo yanakuwa mazito hapa. Leta dasani moja hapa. Namuona goalkeeper anaitisha angalau aweze kukata kiu. Dakika 10 na chuna. Bado Coca-Cola 0 ex Harambee Stars bao moja. Alfred Chege kwa Musa Otieno. Musa Chege kwanza mwili analeta Okwemba. Namna gani? Wanaonana sana hapa, pia wanaanza nyuma kule kutoka na Beach. Anampata Chege. Haya, ilikuwa na mushkil kidogo, lakini asante sana fundi wa mitambo. Okwemba Charles, Jafar Oyango kwa Julius Owino. Alfred Chege anakosa kuwajibika, mpira unachukuliwa. Anaanza tena kule Omar Lule, captain wa timu ya Coca-Cola. Anafuata ndefu kule, kinamiminwa kwenye lango. Awilo Julius Owino kwa Charles Okwemba. Nyuma kabisa kwake Anthony Fire. Bado hamna bao upande wa timu ya Coca-Cola. Awilo nyuma kabisa kwake Musa Otieno. Otieno badilisha kule Jafar Oyango. Wanaanza kugawa. Mpira unabadilishwa kule namna gani? Maina anachezewa visivyo pale, refari asema ikabu. Refari anasema ikabu. June Ogola, center refari. Ni bwana June Ogola. Atarangala nje. Goal kick. June picha. Haya. Bado bao 1-0. Kipindi cha kwanza. Naona Coca-Cola wanaanza kukata kiu hapa. Wameanza kuchoka manake mpira unaenda vipi? Haya. Zinasalia dakika 2 mechi kisha. Vijana wadogo wawe tayari mechi ambayo inafuata. Kuja.
Yako kwesh. Awilo lipe. Lipe Awilo. Yako tena. Romano. Attention.
Awilo. State House Academy, be ready. And Wasafi. Remember that the two teams are sponsored by His Excellency the President. The two teams coming up is the Wasafi versus State House Academy. Ngoma inaanza tena nyuma kule. Kina miminwa nje namna gani? Inakuwa ni goal kick. Naona kasi inaenda chini hapa. Jasho linaanza kukauka. Musa Otieno kwa Jeffer Oyando. Pasi mbovu ile anapiga. Hatari kule kwenye lango la timu ya Stars. Nini? Nje. Goal kick. Owino Julius kwake Noah Beach. Kima anapiga pasi namna gani kule George Maina. Ikiwa ndo unaungana nasi, ni mechi ya kujipima nguvu. It's an exhibition match. 1 minute to go. It's an exhibition match. The guys in green, former Harambee Stars, former national team players versus Coca-Cola. Haya. Nini? Oyando Jeffer. Chini kule. Hatari kwenye lango la timu ya Coca-Cola. Anaingia tena kule namna gani kule Alfred Chege. Pasi mbovu Chege. Namna gani? Alfred Chege. Namna gani? Charles Okwemba. Kwake Julius Owino. Namna gani na kule? Ini. Nani? Hata kubwa na mpira unakwisha. Tupateni makofi ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a round of applause. Asante sana. Wasafi versus tumpatie ni mwenyeji wetu heshima zake. Tupateni makofi hawa wawili ambao wamecheza. Ladies and gentlemen, the captain of ex-international is Musa Otieno, the most capped player with 105 caps. Another round of applause. Tupateni makofi hawa jamaa. Very good job. The next in action, the future of Kenyan football. Okay, the juggler, be ready. The juggler, I'll give you a minute. The juggler, after the match, I'll give you a minute. Nitakupa dakika moja, nipigie juggling. Okay, the two teams, His Excellency, These are your teams. The team is Wasafi versus Wasafi in red. The green team is State House Soccer Academy. Ladies and gentlemen, the two teams are the under 13 of Wasafi Soccer Academy versus the red, the team that is coming from State House, the State House Youth Soccer Academy. Hizi timu mbili zinadhaminiwa na rais wetu Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta.
Ye Buda. Tunadondoa.
Haya. Kumbuka hizi timu mbili ni timu ambazo zinadhaminiwa rasmi na Rais Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. That is Wasafi versus the team State House Academy. Wasafi are the guys in the lads in red, and then the State House, the team that is sponsored by the president, they are in luminous green. Center referee bado ni yule June Ogola, the music director. Kwaya safi ambayo imekuwa ikitutumbuiza hapa iko chini ya uongozi wake June Ogola. Piga ndefu kule namna gani huko? Toa ndani. Piga chenga kule. Baba kajaja. Baadhi ya wageni ambao tunawatambua uwepo wao, kikosi cha michezo kiongozwa na balozi hatari kule kwenye lao. Toa ndani. State House wanapata bao la kwanza. State House wanapata bao la kwanza. Tupateni makofi hawa vijana, tupateni makofi. Asante sana, asante sana. State House 1, Wasafi 0. Ikiwa ni kipindi cha kwanza, first half, ladies and gentlemen, this is the under 13, the youth team of Wasafi. Tupatieni makofi damani. A round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Chini ya dakika moja wanasawazisha. Haya. 1-1. Wasafi 1. Wasafi 1. State House Academy 1. Moja ba. Asante. Naam, sauti inarejea. Asante sana ufundi wa mitambo. Anahakikisha kwamba Rocho anarejea hewani. Haya, moja. Wanaanza tena miguso kule nyuma. Kumbuka hizi timu mbili, mtazamaji ambaye pia ni msikilizaji, ni timu ambazo zinadhaminiwa na rais wetu, manake the future of Kenyan soccer ni hizi timu mbili. One minute to go. Okay. Center referee, 2 minutes to go, please. Naona wazazi wa hawa vijana pia wako nasi hapa. Asanteni sana wazazi kupatia hawa vijana nafasi ya kuweza kujieleza kiwanjani. Hatari kule! Namna gani? Asante sana. Center referee anasema kuna ikabu. Chun picha. Kinaanza tena kule nyuma. Goal kick. That marks the end of the game. Let's give them a round of applause. Tupatieni makofi. Asanteni sana wazazi. Asanteni sana. Tuendeni jamani. Asante sana. Vijana tuende tumpatie mfadhili wetu ambaye pia ndio kiongozi wa nchi heshima zake. In a short while, ladies and gentlemen, we'll commence the second part of our program. Haya. Asante sana. Thank you very much. Tupatieni another makofi jamani, tupatieni makofi hawa vijana. Another round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. At this particular moment, I'd like to hand over to my co-host, Big Ted. Tupatieni center referee makofi pia. Good job, center referee. Good job.
Thank you very much. A round of applause for Rocho himself, best commentator we have. Your Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for allowing us to host this event here and to grace it. I would humbly request Your Excellency to please now come to the main stage for the official unveiling of the trophy and the presentation of the trophy to the people of Kenya. Your Excellency, sir, may I please request that you join us at the big stage. His Excellency will be joined by the Cabinet Secretaries and the PS for Sports, the VP Coca-Cola, and the Governor on the stage.
coming home, home where I belong. Whoa, I'm coming home, home where I belong. Narudi nyumbani, 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 nyumbani. Narudi nyumbani, nyumbani, nyumbani. I have seen many things, been many places, been around the world. I have seen many faces, I've fought many.
Thank you. Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, allow me to please allow Deborah Maloa to please make some statement, and then we shall pass it on to the Cabinet Secretary for Sports to speak.
Your Excellency, President of the Republic of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta, Honorable Cabinet Secretaries present here today, Principal Secretaries, officials from FIFA, colleagues from the Coca-Cola system, the media fraternity, invited guests in their respective capacities, all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Your Excellency, please accept our most sincere appreciation from the Coca-Cola system for your courteous reception and acceptance to be part of today's magical moment when we receive the official FIFA World Cup trophy here in Kenya. Your Excellency, the Coca-Cola Company has been an official sponsor of the FIFA World Cup since 1978. This year is the 5th edition of the FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour by Coca-Cola. We're excited to be taking the original FIFA World Cup trophy to 51 countries globally ahead of the Qatar tournament later this year. For the first time ever, the tour will visit all the 32 countries that qualified for the FIFA World Cup. Kenya is one of the 9 African countries selected to be a part of this season's FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour. Your Excellency, we are honored to partner with FIFA to deliver this iconic trophy to Kenya. It gives us the unique opportunity to shine a spotlight on this beautiful country and the fans who love this beautiful game. The FIFA World Cup Trophy Tour is an extraordinary opportunity to bring Kenyans together, take in a piece of football history, and share a passion for the sport with each other. Indeed, football has the power to unite us all. Your Excellency, Coca-Cola has been present in Kenya for 74 years. Over this time, we have seen growth in both our business and in the communities that we serve. We support a comprehensive value chain that has created 36,800 jobs through our local suppliers, distributors, and retail partners. Our vast sales network continues to grow with over 135,000 outlets, furthering enabling our ecosystem to sustain over 1 million livelihoods in the country. Our work in Kenya is guided by our company's purpose, which is to refresh the world and make a difference. Your Excellency, today's occasion marks a moment of national pride. By hoisting the trophy, you are representing the collective belief and passions of every Kenyan who aspires to play and win the FIFA World Cup. You are inspiring our youth to dream big. The presence of the FIFA World Cup trophy here today is also an illustration of your government's commitment to the development of talent. We also acknowledge the positive partnership with the private sector. Your Excellency, we will be sharing this magical experience with our consumers and football fans in the country, and we have organized for an exclusive viewing experience tomorrow at the Kenyatta International Convention Center, KICC. This will be a chance for a good number of fans to come and view the trophy and take in a piece of history. We believe that one day we will, as a nation, not only participate in the FIFA World Cup tournament, but go on to win it. We believe in the power of this possibility because just like this year's theme, believing is magic. Your Excellency, with those few remarks, I thank you for your kind consideration and accepting to receive the FIFA World Cup trophy on behalf of all Kenyans, and your government's support in facilitating this magical moment for Kenya. Thank you, Your Excellency. Asante sana.
Your Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, President of the Republic of Kenya and Commander-in-Chief of our Defense Forces, my colleagues Najib Balala, Betty Maina, the Head of Public Service, State House Controller, the Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Sports, my friend and colleague Joe Okudo. Let me also recognize the team that's led by Deborah from Coca-Cola. Let me recognize our legend from Brazil who is here with us today. And recognize, Your Excellency, this is an amazing opportunity, and I'd just like to say thank you very, very, very much for affording all of us this opportunity to be part of a historic moment in our country. This is not the first time that you're going to host the trophy, and I know that you're going to have many more opportunities to do this into the future. But we are really just grateful to be here. We're also grateful to have been able to watch the future talent of our country. Thank you, Your Excellency, very, very much. I believe, as David does, that these teams here will also hoist this trophy in the very near future. So extremely delighted to have been here, Your Excellency. With those few remarks, I'd like to now invite you to address this gathering. Thank you very much, sir.
Asante. Thank you, Amina. Hamjambo. Asante sana. Let me say that it's a great opportunity, not just for me, but for all Kenyans. For as we all know, the FIFA World Cup remains the greatest sporting extravaganza in the world. And across the globe, from big cities to small villages, the tournament is followed by every nation and almost every single citizen of the globe enthusiastically across many different parts of the world. So it is therefore, I believe, a moment of honor for Kenya as we officially receive the FIFA World Cup trophy today on behalf of the nation, and to recognize that the presence of the World Cup trophy here in Kenya, now for the fourth time, is without doubt an inspiration to our football fraternity and our youth in particular, giving them an objective to achieve greater football success so that football's top prize may one day hopefully be added to Kenya's trophy collection. Ladies and gentlemen, we must acknowledge that even though our national fortunes in football have not been as bountiful as they should be, football is nonetheless a strong part of our national fabric, and it remains the most popular sport in Kenya. It is our earnest prayer that the next time this trophy arrives in Kenya, it will do so while being held aloft by our Harambee Stars. Na tunaona vile wazee wanacheza, vijana ndio wanatuangusha jameni. As our budding talent moves to realize this goal, we as a government are committed to continue to make requisite public investments, which we are hopeful that one day will make it a reality that our cherished national aspiration of qualifying for and hopefully one day winning the World Cup are achieved. So on behalf of the government and the people of Kenya, let me say it is an honor to be part of the 51 countries and territories that are part of this global tour. I want to thank FIFA, I want to thank Coca-Cola, and all the other partners for making this global tour a possibility, and this stop to Kenya in particular a reality. Asanteni sana. We thank you very much. It is indeed my hope that this occasion will be an aspiration, an inspiration to our nation, and most importantly to our children, to dare dream of achieving the highest success in their chosen endeavor. And I want to thank all participants. I want to thank these wonderful young men who have played before us. I want to thank our elders of Harambee Stars for continuing to work tirelessly to inspire these younger ones. And indeed, it is our hope that one day that inspiration will turn into reality as we watch Harambee Stars achieve the greatest prize of all. Mungu awabariki. Thank you all very much for being here. Thank you very much, FIFA. And once again, thank you very much, Coca-Cola. Asanteni sana.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Your Excellency. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the unveiling. And the legend with us will now unmask and present the trophy to His Excellency the President. Thank you. Allow me to make a small suggestion that the rest of us on stage will move to the side, just in case your hand touches the trophy, just in case. Remember, the trophy is only held by a sitting head of state and a World Cup legend. And ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, is the president who has held it the most in Kenya 3 times. Shangwe na vigelegele, ladies and gentlemen, the World Cup trophy in Kenya. The future belongs to the youth. Asante.
And represent your home.
Thank you.
I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Home where I belong.
All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. And Your Excellency, to allow me to just break the protocol. Can all the kids come and stand here in front here? Just slowly. Msimame hapa mkiangalia ma cameras. Mkiangalia huko. Mkiangalia ule upande mwingine. Ile upande mwingine. All the grown-ups, please move out of the picture. This is a special picture. All the grown-ups, move out of the picture. All the kids, muangalie kamera, wengine wende chini. Squat, all the kids squat. Watoi, chuchuma. Angalieni ile pande. All right. Your Excellency, this is a legacy photo which I'm sure will go on your wall. All the kids, I want you to put your hands up. All right, this is a legacy picture. Inueni mikono. This is a picture of Kenya with Hechi in the background. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause. The future belongs to these young people. Come on. Thank you. Ukiwa nao asanteni sana na watoi mnaweza toka. Thank you, children on the side, Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Your Excellency, we shall now humbly request that we take the anthem, and then for the staff who are here and the guests to be given an opportunity to also take a picture with the trophy, with your permission, sir. Thank you very much. Imba wimbo wa taifa, alafu tawaruhusu walioko hapa wapate picha na kikombe hiki. Asante sana. Nitauliza sote tukae chini, alafu nitawaita moja kwa moja. Kila mtu aende kae kwenye nini. All everybody to the start. Tukae chini, alafu tutaifanyia hapo.
Bila shaka mtazamaji, ndio hafla kubwa ambayo imekuwa ikisubiriwa kwa hamu na hamumu. Rais Uhuru Kenyatta tayari ameweza kupokea kombe la dunia ambalo limefika katika taifa la Kenya leo hii kwa mara ya 4. Rais Uhuru Kenyatta anasema ni heshima kubwa sana kwa FIFA kuweza kuipatia fursa taifa la Kenya maksudi liwe ni moja kati ya mataifa 51 ambayo kombe hili litaweza kuzunguka, na pia moja kati ya mataifa 32 ambazo zitashiriki katika kipute cha mwaka huu huko nchini Qatar. Kombe hili litaweza kufika hapo, na Kenya ni moja pia kati ya mataifa 9 yaliyochaguliwa na FIFA ya Afrika kuweza kupokea kombe hili makusudi kabla ya kombe la dunia. Na Rais Uhuru Kenyatta pia amewapongeza wanamichezo wetu, hususan Harambee Stars, wachezaji wa Harambee Stars ambao wamefika hapa makusudi kuweza kucheza mechi ya maonyesho. Na Rais Kenyatta akasema kwamba ni moja kati ya changamoto ambazo wanawamotisha vijana wa taifa la Kenya, na kusema anatumai kwamba wakati mwingine ambapo kombe hili litaweza kufika katika taifa la Kenya, basi tutaweza kushuhudia Harambee Stars, wachezaji wa Harambee Stars wakiwa wamebeba moja kwa moja pamoja kombe hilo. Itakuwa ni heshima kubwa tena sana. Amekuwepo ambassador Amina Mohamed ambaye ndo waziri wa michezo, pamoja na Najib Balala waziri wa utalii, ambao wamefika hapa makusudi kuweza kupokea kombe hili ambalo likitoka hapa State House hiyo kesho litapelekwa katika uwanja wa ama katika KICC, ambapo Wakenya wanatarajiwa kufika pale na pia kuweza kupiga picha nayo, kisha baadaye ielekee nchini Afrika ya Kusini na baadaye kurejea tena barani nchini Tanzania. Shukrani sana kwa utazamaji wako moja kwa moja kutoka ikulu ya Rais Nairobi. Mimi ni Isaac Lemoka.
Team managers meet.
For the teachers, we never managed to get it through. He had only requested for 2 billion. Chair of a budget is aware, but we never managed to get it. So it is unfortunate. The teachers will have to continue with the training from their pocket. The issue of the CBA for universities is very key, especially during this year. So Chair, Budget Committee, through the Chair, we will request that you continue pursuing this issue so that we are able to take care of the CBA. The committee had requested for 4 billion. And we never managed to get that through. Thank you, Chair.
Then, with that, members, I put the question that the programs and the vote 1065 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Members, as many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Members, I put the global question, which is that sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 109,837,995,328 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of Fort 1065, that is the State Department for University Education. As many as are that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it. Next vote.
Vote 1066, State Department for Early Learning and Basic Education.
Members, I propose the question which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 110,681,239,910 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, that is recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect for 1066, the State Development for Early Learning and Basic Education.
Programs under vote 1066 are 1. Primary education, 2. Secondary education, 3. Quality assurance and standards, and 4. General administration, planning and support services.
I propose the question, which is that the programs under vote 1066 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I move to put the question, which are the programs under the vote 1066 as read out. I see the chair. Chair, do you wanted to speak to this? No, thank you. Then I move to put the question, which is that the programs under the vote 1066 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Members, as many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I move to put the global question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 110,681,239,910 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of what 1066, the State Department for Early Learning and Basic Education. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it.
Vote 1068, the State Department for Post-Training and Skills Development.
I propose the question on members, which is at a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 356,000,000 600,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, the recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of Fort 1068, the State Department for Post-Training and Skills Development.
Programs under Fort 1068 are 1. General Administration Planning and Support Services, 2. Workplace Readiness Services, and 3. Post-Training Information Management.
Thank you. I propose a question which that the programs under Vote 1068 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. See no interest. I move to put the question of members which that the programs under the Vote 1068 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Honourable members, as many as are of those opinions say aye. And as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I now put the global question to the vote, which is that the sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 356,600,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, that is recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of Vote 1068, that is the State Department for Post-Training and Skills Development. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. Remember, the ayes have it. Next vote.
Vote 1069, the State Department for Implementation of Curriculum Reforms.
Remember, I propose a question which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 339,299,400 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of Vote 1069, the State Department for Implementation of Curriculum Reforms.
Programs under Vote 1069, coordination of the curriculum reforms implementation.
Remember, I propose a question which is that the programs under the Vote 1069 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Honourable Member for Norfolk Kolo.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, whereas I support this supply of funds to this State Department, maybe to the Chair Education, if she would consider in the summary, in the final report to the House about her department, whether these two state departments are completely worthy to exist, maybe to advise and see. One State Department, Honourable Chair, is getting about 110 billion, whereas another one is getting another 100 and something billion, but this one is getting 339 million, Honourable Chair. Is it something which maybe I would request the Chair to consider in the submission to the House what is the performance of the two state departments so that maybe we can consider in the future. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Very well. With that, then, members, I put the question, which is that the programs under the votes number 1069 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the question to the vote, which is that the sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 339,299,400 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, that is recurrent development, during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of Vote 1069, the State Department for Implementation of Curriculum Reforms. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as are contrary opinion say nay. Remember, the ayes have it.
Vote 1071, the National Treasury.
Members, I propose a question which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 174,396,917,238 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the sum recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of Vote 1071, the National Treasury.
Programs under Vote 1071 are 1. Rail transport, 2. Marine transport,
3, general administration planning and support services. 4, public financial management. 5, economic and financial policy formulation and management. 6, market competition. And 7, government clearing services.
Members, I propose a question which is that programs under vote 1071 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. The Honorable Chairperson Budget, Honorable Kanini Kega.
Thank you so much, Chair. And I rise to support this because it's critical and very important. However, Madam Chair, Treasury is the one that actually allocates funds to the various ministries, not allocating, so to speak, but apportions. But when you have Treasury again as also an implementing agency, like, for example, the railway transport and marine transport, I think sometimes there is also some conflict of interest. Maybe going into the future, the rail, the marine should be domiciled in the line ministries, maybe going into the future. So I think it's an area of concern. However, I rise to support.
Very well. The member for Isambu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. While we support the Budget Committee, Madam Speaker, I wish to plead with them that they have captured very well that we should be very keen on paying pending bills. But they have declined to pay a very important historical pending bill of 452.6 million of a contract signed in 1997 between Spencom Kenya Limited and the Ministry of Local Government for the construction of Mombasa Sewerage Project. The ministry has consequently been notified that unless the sum of Kenya shillings 452.6 million is paid to Spencom, the said company has negotiated that price, and if Treasury doesn't pay, the amount awarded by the arbitrator, they will again move to court. Madam Speaker, this bill is very old, and we appeal to the Committee on Budget to ensure that is provided for in the next supplementary. I support.
Your point passed, honourable members. I now move to put the question, which is that the programs under the vote 1071 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as of that have been say aye. As many as of a honourable will say nay. There is I put the global question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 174,396,917,238 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1071, the National Treasury. As many as of that have been say aye, and as many as have a contribution say nay. There is it. Next vote.
Vote 1072, State Department for Planning.
I propose a question, members, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 49,086,120,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent development during the year ending 30 June 2023 in respect of vote 1072, the State Department for Planning.
Programs under vote 1072 are 1, Economic Policy and National Planning, 2, National Statistical Information Services, 3, Public Investment Management Monitoring and Evaluation Services, and 4, General Administration Planning and Support Services.
Members, I propose a question which are the programs under vote 1072 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I move to put the question, which is that the programs under vote 1072 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. There is I move to put the question to the vote, which is that the sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 49,086,120,000 120,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of votes 1072, the State Department for Planning. As many as have that have been say aye, and as many as have a contrary say nay, the ayes have it. Next vote.
Vote 1081, Minister of Health.
And members, I propose a question which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 122,519,254,652 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure that is recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1081, the Ministry of Health.
Programs under vote 1081 are 1. Preventive, promotive, and reproductive health. 2. National, referral, and specialized services. 3. Health research and development. 4. General administration and planning and support services. And 5. Health policy standards and regulations.
I propose a question, members, which is that the programs under vote 1081 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I see no interest. I move to put the question, which is that the programs under vote 1081 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Honourable members, as many as have that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it. I put the question to the vote, which is that the sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 122,519,254,652 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure that is recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1081, the Ministry of Health. As many as have that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary say nay. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Next vote.
Vote 1091, the State Department for Infrastructure.
I propose a question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 221,293,567,854 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1091, the State Department for Infrastructure.
Program under vote 1091, road transport.
I propose the question, honourable members, which is a program under vote 1091 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Honourable Kabinga. Yes.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I stand to support this allocation supplied to the Department of Infrastructure, Honorable Chair, and urge that in future we need to put more money into infrastructure, Honorable Chair, so that we can build the economy. Quite often than not, people ask whether doing a road would turn that into unga, Honorable Chair. And I always tell the young men and women out there that when a road from point A to B is improved and there is a border guy who is using it, he saves on number one, the frequent washing that they would do when the road is bad. 2, savings on spares, Honorable Chair. And number 3, the number of times that young man would be able to ferry clients, Honorable Chair. And that is what we can now refer to as putting money in the pockets. I really want to thank the management of this particular department. In the past 5 years, Honorable Chair, my constituency has seen tremendous improvement on the infrastructure. I came in when we had only 4 kilometers of road in Mwea that starts from Mwea and ends in Mwea. Today, we have a number of them, and I really want to thank the Minister and the PS for the good job well done, Honorable Chair. Thank you.
Very well. With that, I move to put the question, which is that the program under vote 1091 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Honourable members, as many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as have a call opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the question to the vote, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 221,293,567,854 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1091 State Department for Infrastructure. Members, as many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a call opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next.
Vote 1092, State Department for Transport.
I propose a question which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 10,972,000,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1092, the State Department for Transport.
Programs under vote 1092, State Department for Transport are 1. General Administration, Planning and Support Services, 2. Marine Transport, 3. Air Transport, and 4. Road Safety.
I propose a question, honourable members, which is that the programs under vote 1092 as read out and sums allocated to in the schedule be approved. I move to put the question, which is that the programs under vote 1092. I see an interest by the member. Navakola, yes, yes.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, whereas I want to support this supply, but I want to ask maybe Chair, the Chair of Education, to consider, Chair, intervening on the issue of pricing, especially on aviation flight costs. I think in the region, Honourable Chair, our airlines are the most expensive. Whereas we are giving them subsidy, we are giving them each and every support that we Kenyans need, that the airlines need. It's important, Chair, that they check in terms of costing of their tickets and their flights on the Chair. Meanwhile, I support.
Yes, with that, then now I put the question, which is that the programs under vote 1092 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Members, as many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a call opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the global question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings I put the question to the vote, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 10,972,000,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, the current development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1092, the State Department for Transport. Remember, as many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 1093, State Department for Shipping and Maritime.
I propose a question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 3,360,000,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1093, that is the State Department for Shipping and Maritime.
Program under vote 1093, Shipping and Maritime Affairs.
I propose a question, which is that the program under vote 1093 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I move to put the question, which is the program under vote 1093 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the global question, members, which is that sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 3,360,000,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure that is current development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1093, the State Department for Shipping and Maritime. As many as the third opinion say aye, as many as contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next vote.
For 1094, State Department for Housing and Urban Development.
Members, I propose a question which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 20,361 million be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, that is recurrent development, during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of Vote 1094, the State Department for Housing and Urban Development.
Programs under Vote 1094 are 1. Housing Development and Human Settlement, 2. Urban and Metropolitan Development, and 3. General Administration, Planning and Support Services.
Members, I propose the question which is the programs under Vote 1094 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I see, yes, the Moya member, the representative of the people of Moya.
Yes, thank you. Yes, thank you, Honorable Chair. Yes, I'm the servant of the people of Moya. Honorable Chair, I support this supply to the Department for Housing and Urban Development, Honorable Chair. But also note that within the period that we are now ending in the 12th Parliament, I've been pushing for the improvement or for the upgrading of my great hometown of Gurubani, which, Honorable Chair, is a home of great economy. It generates to this economy almost 10 billion. And I had urged this department to consider upgrading it to a municipality. I want to thank the President when he visited Gurubani and saw for himself the activities that go on there, gave a directive that infrastructure be improved. Most of the roads are now improved, Honorable Chair. We continue working with the budget chair here to ensure that funding flows. And Honorable Chair, it's my wish that in the coming year, this department will find it necessary to upgrade Gurubani into a municipality. When Viva Dam is over, Gurubani will be contributing 20 billion into the economy of this country. And therefore, it's important that we upgrade it to municipality so that the infrastructure is improved, so that housing moves in there to do low-cost houses and improve the standards to bring in more investment that will generate even much more money into this economy, Honorable Chair. I support.
You support, all members. With that, I put the question, which is that the programs and the Vote 1094 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as have that have been say aye, and as many as have been say nay, the ayes have it. I now put the global question, which is that the sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 20,361 million be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of Vote 1094, the State Department for Housing and Urban Development. Remember, as many as have that will say aye, and as many as have will say nay. The ayes have it. Next vote.
Vote 1095, State Department for Public Works.
I propose the question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 4,693 million be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, that is recurrent development, during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of Vote 1095, the State Department for Public Works.
Programs under Vote 1095, State Department for Public Works are 1. Government buildings, 2. Coastline infrastructure and pedestrian access, 3. General Administration, Planning and Support Services, and 4. Regulation and development of the construction industry.
I propose the question, members, which is that the programs under Vote 1095 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Let me have the member for Seme, Honorable Nyikal Wambura.
Thank you, Chair. I also support this. This department, Madam Chair, should actually take into consideration not only pedestrian access, but also access for persons with disability. We've just actually been discussed the disability bill, and many public buildings are actually not disability compliant. Public transport, if you look at Matasu, you look at buses, you look at trains, they are all not disability compliant. Even bus stops or bus stages are not disability compliant. I think this department should take into consideration and comply with the law as it is now, and give proper access to persons with disability in all infrastructure within the country. Thank you.
Very well. All right, members, with that, then I put the question, which is that the programs under vote 1095 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as of this opinion say aye, and as many as of our contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the global question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 4,693,000,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure of the current development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1095, that is the State Department for Public Works. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. Our members, the ayes have it. Next vote.
Vote 1108, Minister of Environment and Forestry.
Honourable members, I propose a question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 15,255,800,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure that is recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1108, that is the Ministry of Environment and Forestry.
Programs under vote 1108, Minister of Environment and Forestry: 1. Environment Management and Protection; 2. General Administration, Planning and Support Services; 3. Meteorological Services; and 4. Forest and Water Towers Conservation.
I propose a question, members, which is that the programs under the votes 1108 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I move to put the question, which is that the programs under vote 1108 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of our contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Now, members, I put the global question to this, which is that the sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 15,255,800,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure that is recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1108, that is the Ministry of Environment and Forestry. Will as many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it. Next vote.
Vote 1109, Minister of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation.
I propose a question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 83,936,624,881 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure that is recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1109, and that is the Ministry of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation.
Programs under vote 1109, Minister of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation: 1. General Administration, Planning and Support Services; 2. Water Resources Management; 3. Water and Sewerage Infrastructure Development; 4. Irrigation and Land Reclamation; 5. Water Storage and Flood Control; 6. Water Harvesting and Storage for Irrigation.
Members, I propose a question, which is that the programs under vote 1109 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Honorable Member for Kieni.
Thank you, Chair. I rise, of course, to support, but the Vice Chair had alluded to me that he wanted to make some amendments. Unfortunately, he is not here, And so I think for his amendments, then of course we might consider them in the appropriations bill.
Very well. With that, members, yes, honorable member from where?
Thank you once again, Honorable Chair. I support the supply to this ministry once again. This is a very, very, very important ministry that is carrying not only the domestic but also irrigation water, Honorable Chair, and therefore I really support the supply. Honorable Chair, my constituency, Mwea, is a major consumer of irrigation services, Honorable Chair, and I want to really urge the Minister and the PS in charge of this particular department to ensure that the saga called Walma does not exploit our people, Honorable Chair. They keep on increasing the rates of water in irrigation without any due consideration from the consumers. Honorable Chair, the last time Walma had a meeting in Mombasa, I had to go unplanned, and we agreed with them that they are not going to increase rates for irrigation water. To my surprise, Honorable Chair, I came to realize that they actually gazetted figures that we had already said they should not be increased in Mombasa. And I really felt it, Honorable Chair, because I left this town for Mombasa without any clothes to change to save my people, just to find them, Walma, gazetting figures that were not agreed. And I hope that the PS will take this very seriously, Honorable Chair, because we feel if it's not done, we will definitely be moving to court to prevent them from doing so. The other thing, Honorable Chair, is on drinking water. We are doing well on irrigation, but the people of Mwea continue consuming canal water, which is contaminated, Honorable Chair. Thank you.
With that, honorable members, I move to put the question, which is that the programs under the votes number 1109 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as are of that have been say aye, and as many as have been say nay, the ayes have it. I move to put the global question on members, which is there are some not exceeding Kenya shillings 83,936,624,881 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, that is recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023, in respect of vote 1109, the Minister of Water, Sanitation and Irrigation. As many as are that have been say aye, and as many as have been say nay. Remember, the ayes have it. Next vote.
Vote 1112, Minister of Land and Fiscal Planning.
Members, I propose a question, which is there are some not exceeding Kenya shillings 5,928,250,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure as recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1112 as the Minister of Lands and Fiscal Planning.
Program under vote 1112, Minister of Lands and Fiscal Planning, Land Policy and Planning.
Members, I propose the question, which is that the program under votes 1112 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Mwea, member for Mwea.
Thank you once again, Honorable Chair. I support the supply to this particular ministry, Honorable Chair, but also note that in the past 3 years we have been working with this ministry to ensure that the people of South Ngariema in my constituency are given their title deeds, Honorable Chair. This particular exercise was commenced by the national government, but I want to say that I was really unhappy with the way it was handled by the county government. They are the people who have delayed the issuance of these title deeds, and hope that in the coming years they will not interfere so that the people of South Ngariema in my constituency can get their titles. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Very well. Then with that, I put the question on members, which is that the program under votes 1112 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as are of a opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I move to put the global question on members, which there are some not exceeding Kenya shillings 5,000,000 928,250,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 112, that is the Minister of Lands and Physical Planning. Will as many as of this opinion say aye, and as many as of our contrary will say nay? The ayes have it. Next vote.
Vote 1122, State Department for Information, Communication, Technology and Innovation.
I propose a question which is that the sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 19,254,100,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1122, the State Department for Information, Communication, Technology and Information.
Programs under vote 1122, State Department for Information, Communication, Technology and Innovation. 1. General Administration Planning and Support Services. 2. ICT Infrastructure Development. 3. E-Government Services.
Members, I propose a question which is that the programs under the votes 1122 as read out and the sums allocated the schedule be approved. I put the question which is that the programs under vote 1122 as read out and sum allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as of this opinion say aye, and as many as of our contrary will say nay. The ayes have it. I move to put the global question to the vote on members, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 19,254,100,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, that is current recurrent development during the year ending 30 June 2023 in respect of vote 1122, and that is the State Department for Information, Communication, Technology and Information. Remember, as many as of that will say aye, and as many as of our contrary will say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 1123, State Department for Broadcasting and Telecommunications.
Members, I propose a question which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 7,507,600,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, that is recurrent development, during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1123, that is State Department for Broadcasting and Telecommunications.
Programs under vote 1123, State Department for Broadcasting and Telecommunication. 1. General Administration Planning and Support Services. 2. Information and Communication Services. 3. Mass Media Skills Development. 4. Film Development Services Program.
Members, I propose a question which is that the programs under votes 1123 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I move to put the question which is that the programs under votes 1123 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as our that opinion say aye, and as many as our contrary opinion say nay. There is, I move to put the global question which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 7,507,600,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, that is recurrent and development, during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1123, and that is the State Department for Broadcasting and Telecommunications. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as are of contrary opinion say nay. Remember, the ayes have it. Next vote.
Vote 1132, State Department for Sports.
Members, I propose a question which is that the sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 17 billion to I beg your pardon. I propose a question which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 17,425,950,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, that is recurrent development, during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1132.
Programs under vote 1132, State Department for Sports. 1. Sports.
Members, I propose a question which is that the program under vote 1132 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I move to put the question on the members, which is that the program under the vote number 1132 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as are of these opinions say aye, and as many as of our contrary opinions say nay. The ayes have it. I move to put the question to the vote, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 17,425,950,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure that is recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1132, which is State Department for Sports. Will as many as are of this opinion say aye? Aye. And as many as are of contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next vote.
Vote 1134, State Department for Culture and Heritage.
Honourable members, I propose the question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 3,171,914,367 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1134, that is the State Department for Culture and Heritage.
Programs under vote 1134, State Department for Culture and Heritage. 1. Culture/Heritage, the Arts, Library Services, and General Administration, Planning and Support Services.
With that, honourable members, I propose the question, which is that the programs under votes 1134 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I move to put the question, which is that the programs under votes 1134 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. And members, as many as are of this opinion say aye, and as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the global question on members, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 3,171,914,367 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure that is recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1134, the State Department for Culture and Heritage. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as are of our contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next vote.
Vote 1152, Minister of Energy.
Members, I propose the question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 95,667,855,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1152, the Ministry of Energy.
Programs under vote 1152, General Administration, Planning and Support Services. 2. Power Generation. 3. Power Transmission and Distribution. 4. Alternative Energy Technologies.
Members, I propose the question, which is that the votes, the programs under votes 1152 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Honorable Member for Moya, is there a comment?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Whereas I support the supply to this particular ministry, Honorable Chair, I want to take note that this ministry needs to put up its swords. Honorable Chair, if this country has to achieve its Vision 2030 on connectivity to our people, we need a total overhaul in this particular ministry. Honorable Chair, I'm happy that the President has already initiated some changes in that particular ministry. I am hoping that things will be done in a better way in that ministry. We are aware that sometimes in the past there has been procurements that have been a problem to this particular ministry, sometimes procuring transformers that are not functional. And for that reason, many of our people are still unconnected. In Mwea, for example, I found the constituency at 53.3%. I'm now still struggling with about 70%, 75%. Honorable Chair, it's my hope that changes in this ministry will make things improve, and that in the coming year or two, my people in the Moya constituency will be fully connected. This is one area that we really did badly during my time as a member of parliament. I struggled and struggled, but the problems in that ministry, Honorable Chair, did not allow me to achieve my goals in as far as connectivity is concerned. I support with that particular rejoinder. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Very well. The member for Mwingi North, before I put the question.
Thank you, Chair. I raised to support with certain comments, just like my predecessor just said. The question of connectivity is really a big problem in Mwingi North constituency. We have so many transformers that are faulty. Every day I've become like I work for the Kenya Power, because every day I'm receiving calls, and I think this has to, going forward, must be stopped. So much as I support, there must be some proper systems put in place to ensure that all those faulty transformers that were reportedly installed in at certain time must be removed and replaced with the right one. I support.
You support. With that, members, I put the question, which is that the programs under votes 1152 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as are of this opinion say aye, and as many as are of point opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the global question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 95,667,855,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1152, the Minister of Energy. Members, as many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of our opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 1162, State Department for Livestock.
I propose a question, which is that sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 7,207,300,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1162, State Department for Livestock.
Program under vote 1162, State Department for Livestock, Livestock Resources Management and Development.
I propose a question with the program under vote 1162 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I put the question, which is the program under vote 1162 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as of our opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the global question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 7,207,300,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure that is recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1162, the State Department for Livestock. Members, as many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as are of opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 1166, State Department for Fisheries, Aquaculture and the Blue Economy.
I propose a question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 10,497,400,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the necessary expenditure, that is recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1166, that is State Department for Fisheries, Aquaculture and the Blue Economy.
Programs under vote 1166, 1. Fisheries Development and Management, 2. General Administration, Planning and Support Services, 3. Development and Coordination of the Blue Economy.
I propose a question, which is that the programs under vote 1166 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. The Honourable Member for Seme. Honourable.
Thank you, Chair. While I support the supply to this department, Madam Chair, I think the program of fisheries development and management needs more emphasis And I think they should actually even put more money than this, because, Madam Speaker, the fisheries development or the production of fish in this country, particularly in Lake Victoria, which is the second largest freshwater lake with the best fish, is actually not being seriously considered. It's not acceptable that at this time we are actually importing fish, tilapia, from China for sale in Kisumu, simply because we have actually not developed modern fishing techniques and going by the old technologies with very poor production, and which hinders even the production of fish in the lake. So, Madam Speaker, I support, but I know they have started a program, although fisheries is devolved, but they should have, as they have started, a pilot program complete with research, so that we actually utilize the lake fully while taking into consideration the environmental impact of massive use, particularly for methods like cage farming. With that, I support the supply, Madam Speaker.
Very well. With that, honourable members, I put the question, which is that the programs under votes 1166 as read out and sums as located in the schedule be approved. As many as our authority say aye, and as many as our contribution say nay. The ayes have it. I put the global question to the vote, which is that some not exceeding Kenya shillings 10,497,400,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure that is recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1166. That is the State Department for Fisheries, Aquaculture and Blue Economy. As many as our that opinion say aye, and as many as our of common opinion say nay. Remember, the years have it. Next question.
Vote 1169, State Department for Crop Development and Agricultural Research.
I propose the question, which is there are some not exceeding Kenya shillings 41,506,027,321 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1169, the State Department for Crop Development and Agricultural Research.
Programs under vote 1169: 1. General Administration, Planning and Support Services; 2. Crop Development and Management; 3. Agribusiness and Information Management; 4. Agricultural Research and Development.
Remember, with that, I propose a question, which that the programs under votes 1169 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I move to put the question, which is that the programs. Yes, honourable member. Okay. Honourable
Thank you. And sorry once again for being late in raising up my hands on this. Honourable Chair, let me start by saying I support the supply to this particular department. Let me also say that this is one department that in the past few years have shown a tremendous improvement. Honourable Chair, as we all know, agriculture, livestock are at the heart of this country, Honourable Chair. And it's good to note that we have had a neighbor, or we have a neighbor, CS, Honourable Munya, who have actually touched the hearts of farmers out there. Honourable Chair, I was elected when a kilo of rice, a kilo of per day of rice was costing 45 shillings. Today, my people in Mwea are selling the same at around 85 to 90 shillings. That is really putting money into people's pockets. And I want to really thank this ministry and hope that more money will be supplied into it so that they can continue improving on agriculture in various parts of this country. And more so, Honourable Chair, ensuring that there is enough support to farmers to ensure that our farmers do not become slaves of their own farms, where they do work but get nothing at the end of the day. I support Honourable Chair and hope that the Minister, Honourable Munya, will continue doing the good job that he has been doing. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Very well. With that debate, members, I put the question, which are the programs under votes 1169 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as are of our opinion say nay. Yes, I put the global question to the vote, members, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 41,506,027,321 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1169, the State Department for Crop Development and Agricultural Research. Members, as many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of our contrary opinion say nay. There is its next vote.
Vote 1173, State Department for Cooperatives.
I propose the question, which is that sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 2,262,200,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1173.
Program under vote 1173, Cooperative Development and Management.
I propose the question, which is that the program under vote 1173 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I put the question, which is that the programs under vote 1173 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as are of our contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the global question to the vote, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 2,262,200,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1173, the State Department for Cooperatives. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. Honourable members, the ayes have it. Next vote.
Vote 1174, State Department for Trade and Enterprise Development.
Honourable members, I propose the question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 4,001,190,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure that is recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1174, State Department for Trade and Enterprise Development.
Programs under vote 1174, 1, Domestic Trade and Enterprise Development, 2, Fair Trade Practices and Compliance of Standards, 3, International Trade Development and Promotion, 4, General Administration, Planning and Support Services.
I propose the question, members, which is the programs under votes 1174 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Honourable Member for Moya, try to be brief.
Thank you, Honourable Chair. Again, this supply to this particular department, in my opinion, is not enough. There is much more that this department can do, Honourable Chair, working with other sectors to ensure that we improve on products, both quantity and quality, that makes us import some of the products that are brought into this country, Honourable Chair. I'm aware that we have a lot of Pakistan rice that is imported into this country, while we can improve on rice production in Mwea, in Bura, in parts of Nyanza, to ensure that this country is self-sufficient in as far as rice is concerned and conserve our foreign exchange that we otherwise send abroad. Thank you, Honourable Chair. I support.
You support. Members, with that, I move now to put the question, which is that the program under votes 1174 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as are of our contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I move to put the question to the votes, members, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 4,001,190,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1174, the State Department for Trade and Enterprise Development. Members, as many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next vote.
Vote 1175, State Department for Industrialization.
Honourable members, I propose the question, which is at a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 7,126,540,000, be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1175, the State Department for Industrialization.
Programs under vote 1175, 1. General Administration, Planning and Support Services, 2. Industrial Development and Investments, 3. Standards and Business Incubation.
I propose the question, honourable members, which is the programs under votes 1175 as read out, and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I see no interest, and I move to put the yes, the member for Nafokolo, yes.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I have some interest in this allocation, whereas I support the amount, but it's important, Honourable Chair, for purposes of record, that the State Department for Industrialization needs to live up to its expectation, Honourable Chair. You look at industries need to be created where the existing ones, Honourable Chair, are dying without cessation. I want in particular to refer to Mumias Sugar. The only employer of over 2,000 employees in the Western region has since died, and nobody seems to be addressing the issue. This is a wake-up call to the State Department, Honourable Chair, that let them rise to the occasion and make sure Mumias Sugar works for our people. Thank you, Honourable Chair.
Very well. With that debate on the members, then I move to put the question, which is that the programs under the votes number 1175 as read out, and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the global question to the vote on the members, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 7,126,540,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1175, that is the State Department for Industrialization. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 1184, State Department for Labor.
I propose the question on members, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 3,483,630,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, that is recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1184, the State Department for Labor.
Programs under vote 1184, 1. General Administration, Planning and Support Services, 2. Promotion of the best labor practice, and 3. Manpower Development, Employment and Productivity Management.
Members, I propose the question, which is that the programs under vote 1184 as read out, and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. The member from where you have you want to speak to this?
Yes, thank you, Chair. I'm the chair of the Committee on Labor and Social Protection, Honorable Chair. And through the period that I've been the chair, we've been trying to achieve or to get more resources for this department, Honorable Chair. 3.5 billion is not enough. This department is responsible for our young men and women who have gone out of this country in search of employment. And some of them, especially in the Gulf, are really suffering, Honorable Chair. We've been wanting to have the department establish safe houses for our girls and boys and men who are in Saudi, for example, without any success. It's my hope that in the future, our country will find it necessary to prioritize this particular department in view of the many young men and women who are suffering out there, Honorable Chair. I support.
Your support. Yes, the member for Economy.
Thank you, Chair. I'm sorry, my card has failed me.
Your card has failed.
Chair, I want to comment on this department on labor. Madam Chair, we've had so many people, so many Kenyans, especially women, suffering in UAE, and there has not been a proper structure on how to check on them as even they go to look for their livelihood in Saudi. We wish that this department is allocated more money so that even out there we have a follow-up in terms of even sending labor officers out there to keep track on how many Kenyans go out there, where are they working, Chair, and if there is any problem, Chair, there is a proper way of repatriating them back to Kenya, Chair. Chair, I have several people from my constituency who are suffering in Saudi Arabia, Chair, which I feel so disturbed that our own Kenyan people who have gone to look for their livelihood are out there suffering. There is no way, there's no proper structures on how the government can reach them, Chair. I hope the Chair on Labor Committee will take this seriously. Otherwise, I support, Chair.
Very well. Other members, with that debate, I put the question, which is that the programs under the votes 1184, as read out in the sums allocated in the schedule, be approved. As many as are that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the global question to the votes, and for the record purpose, honourable members, it's a ministry, not a State Department, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 3,483,630,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1184, the Ministry for Labour. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 1185, the State Department for Social Protection, Senior Citizen Affairs, and Special Programs.
I propose a question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 34,676,240,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1185. The State Department for Social Protection, Senior Citizens Affairs, and Special Programs.
Programs under vote 1185 are 1. Social Development and Children's Services, 2. National Social Safety Net, and 3. General Administration Planning and Support Services.
Members, I propose the question, which is that the programs under votes 1185 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Member for Moya.
Thank you, Chair. Again, I'm the Chair of the Committee on Labor and Social Protection that oversees this particular department. And there are many things I would have liked to raise in this particular supply. But I will touch on only 3 of them. One is money that goes to the elderly, Honorable Chair. It's not enough. In all our constituencies, 290, we have elderly people who are getting money and some who are not getting. Some who are neighbors. Your neighbor is getting, your neighbor is not getting. This is an anomaly that needs to be really corrected because it's causing some sort of defranchise within our communities. They feel defranchised because some are getting, some are not getting. On the other one is on our people with disability, Honorable Chair. It's still on this department. Again, this is an area that has been under-resourced. We have many people living who are with disabilities, yet they are not taken care of. Even some going without wheelchairs, some require some special treatment and they cannot get it. Honorable Chair, the last one is on children. And this one I want to bring my attention to the chair budget. Honorable Chair, we're moving into elections. And during elections, children do suffer. And UNICEF has been quite hardy in support of activities to support children during that time. Before the government comes in, UNICEF usually comes in and puts some resources. Government money usually comes late and sometimes not very useful. I had discussed with the Chair, Administration and National Security to extend some resources to this particular department for the purpose of children's services during the time of election, before, during and after. And he had kindly accepted to give this department, or rather to extend about 200 million to this particular department. We did agree on the same with the budget committee. All was well before I realized that this money was actually not allocated, and I'm kindly urging the budget chair to consider availing that resource during the appropriation, Honorable Chair, because it's very important. We don't want our children to suffer during the election period. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Okay, the member for Trans Nzoia, a comment on this?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I just want to agree with the chairman. Issue about social protection. It is true, Madam Chair, we have elderly people who are really suffering outside there. And also even children, the way the chair has said, we need to give them more money so that these elderly and even children can also enjoy. Especially this time for election, Madam Chair, it is going to be a problem. And at the same time, even those workers who are also working with the social protection, they are not enough. We need to add more workers for social protection. Thank you, Madam Chair, and I support.
Member for Kolomani.
Thank you, Madam Chair. As Vice Chair Budget, I want to agree with the Chair on Labour Committee. We shall consult, and as we move forward, we see what we can adjust on that level. However, I also want to support the disbursement, actually the disbursement to elder people, Madam Chair. Where we come from, we interact also with the lowly. This money does wonders. Many of our elderly people die because they don't have what to eat in terms of food and medical. The same program provides for NHIF. 500 bob pays for NHIF every month. This is a great achievement to the government if we can roll out to all elderly people who are above 70, Madam Chair. However, Madam Chair, on the same, we want it streamlined because we have people who die. Those ones who die, money still continues coming, yet we have others who should be picked immediately once one is deceased, Madam Chair. That is the only comment I want the Chair to note, that we want it streamlined so that resources don't go to waste, yet it can be used by another family, Madam Chair.
The last one, the member for Seme, just a comment.
Thank you, Chair, for allowing me to comment on this. Madam Chair, this is an extremely important department. It takes care of the most vulnerable people, the elderly persons, orphans and vulnerable children, people with disability. And I also support that it should get more money. However, Chair and the Chair of the committees here, the functioning of this department is not up to date. The disbursement procedure is not correct. The exit procedure is not clear. And inclusion of new persons is not clear. And even when there are changes, it just changes of the banks, then people miss and they don't get the money. And old persons really queue for long hours and sometimes they're given late. This is an important department, and let them get more money, but I think they should streamline. I'm particularly concerned about this because I literally started this department, and it has achieved what it was intended, except that this management is not up to scratch, and therefore people are suffering while they should actually be enjoying. More money and better management is actually my message for them. Thank you, Chair.
I put the question without debate. I put the question, which are the programs under the votes 1185 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as of that opinion say aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the question to the vote, which is that sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 34,676,240,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure during the year ending that June 2023 in respect of vote 1185 State Department for Social Protection, Senior Citizens Affairs and Special Programs. As many as are that opinion say aye. Honourable members, as many as are of that opinion say aye. And as many as of our contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 1194, Ministry of Petroleum and Mining.
I propose a question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 9,291,000,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent and development during the year ending that of June 2023 in respect of vote 1194, the Ministry of Petroleum and Mining.
Programs under vote 1194 are 1. Exploration and distribution of oil and gas. 2. General administration, planning and support services. 3. Mineral resource management. And 4. Geological surveys and geoinformation management.
Thank you. I propose a question that the program under vote 1194 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I move to put the question, which is that the programs under vote 1194 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as are of that opinion say aye. And as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the global question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 9,291,000,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1194, the Ministry of Petroleum and Mining. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 1202, State Department for Tourism.
I propose a question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 9,028,675,760 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1202, State Department for Tourism.
Programs under vote 1202 are 1. Tourism promotion and marketing. 2. Tourism product development and diversification. And 3. General administration, planning and support services.
I propose a question, honourable members, which is that programs under vote 1202 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I move to put the question, which is that the programs under vote 1202 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I move to put the global question to the vote, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 9,028,675,760 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of votes 1202, the State Department for Tourism. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 1203, State Department for Wildlife.
Honourable members, I propose a question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 7,000,000,000 985,810,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1203, the State Department for Wildlife.
Program under vote 1203, Wildlife Conservation and Management.
Members, I propose a question, which is that the program under vote 1203, as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule, be approved. I move to put the question, which is that the program under vote I move to put the question, which is that programs under vote 1203, as read out and sums allocated in the schedule, be approved. Honourable members, as many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the global question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 7,985,810,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1203, the State Department for Wildlife. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 1212, State Department for Gender.
Honourable members, I propose a question, which is that the sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 3,976,350,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1212, the State Department for Gender. Clerk.
Programs under vote 1212 are 1. Community development, 2. Gender empowerment, and 3. General administration, planning and support services.
Honourable members, I propose the question, which is that the programs under vote 1212, as read out and sums allocated in the schedule, be approved. The member from where?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Again, this particular department also falls under our say, the Committee of Labor and Social Protection. And Honorable Chair, again, this is one department that is also under-resourced. This country keeps on talking about empowering women to ensure that their participation in our economy is improved. But the amount of money we put into this particular department is wanting, Honorable Chair, and I hope that in the coming years we will put in more money. As we always say, empowering women is empowering a family. And this economy or this country can never grow without the growth of our women out there. I'm a great supporter of women and women development. Honorable Chair, I was brought up by my mother when I was left by my father at class 4, and I know the power of a woman. I really support and hope that we can get more money into this department. Thank you, Chair.
With that, honourable members, I put the question, which is that the program under vote 1212, as read out and sums allocated in the schedule, be approved. Will as many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the question to the vote on members, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 3,976,350,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1212, the State Department for Gender. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 1213, State Department for Public Service.
I propose the question, honourable members, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 23,844,810,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1213, the State Department for Public Service.
Programs under vote 1213 are 1. Public Service Transformation, 2. General Administration, Planning and Support Services, and 3. National Youth Service. Thank you.
National Youth, thank you. With that, honourable members, I propose a question, which is that the programs under votes 1213 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. The member for Moya again.
Again, Honorable Chair, I do support the supply to this particular department, but would like to really take note that the National Youth Service, which is under this department, has not given this country what it deserves. It has not fully utilized its potentials. Honorable Chair, I'm well informed that some of the biggest companies that we have here from China are owned by the government. This is one sector that we can also venture into. The National Youth Service has a lot of equipment. The National Youth Service has a lot of manpower. We really don't see why it should not be participating in the contracting of major projects in this country, and thereby generating A for this country. I support Honorable Chair, but I hope that in the future we'll work with that particular sector much more to improve it. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
With that, honourable members, I put the question, which is that the programs under the votes 1213 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as are of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the question, which is that the sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 23,844,810,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of votes 1213, the State Department for Public Service. As many as are of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 1214, State Department for Youth Affairs.
Members, I propose a question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 3,457,120,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1214, the State Department for Youth Affairs.
Programs under vote 1214 are 1. Youth Empowerment Services, 2. Youth Development Services, and 3. General Administration Planning and Support Services.
I propose a question, which is that the programs under votes 1214 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. The Chair.
Thank you.
Honorable Chair, member for Moya, before I move to...
Okay, thank you, Honorable Chair. I know my brother from Ikromani would also want to contribute on this, more so because of the importance of the department, Honorable Chair. Honorable Chair, peace and development in this country highly depends on how well we prepare our youth into the future. And when you look at the allocation of 3 billion to empower our youth to develop and grow to the status that we want them to grow, to take over this country, Honorable Chair, this amount is far below the expectation. We do hope that, Honorable Chair, that again in the coming year, we will focus on this particular area. I've seen how support to youth has changed this country, Honorable Chair. We have youth now getting money in groups, but we need to do much more. We also need to develop youth empowerment centers into our constituencies. I want to thank the department. They have identified my constituency, Mwea, as one of them. Very soon, we should be moving in to do a foundation for a youth empowerment center. But it's my hope that we'll escalate this to many more constituencies in the country so that our youth can find a place to go and seek advice, a place to go and do their business online without paying, and a place where they can interact and exchange ideas, and a place where elderly can also find a way into giving them advices. Honorable Chair, I support.
The member for Kolomani, some comment on this.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I want to echo the sentiments of the Chair on labor. Madam Chair, this amount allocated to the youth, to the development of youth into businesses, Madam Chair, is too little compared to the number and the population of youth in Kenya. And being in that job opportunities as in white-collar jobs is scarce, Madam Chair, it is important that we adjust upwards the allocation to allocation of money to support youth, Madam Chair. However, I also want to ask the government that this money should be distributed fairly. In some constituencies, Madam Chair, especially rural education, which requires a lot of awareness so that the youth can utilize these funds, I think the youth fund does not have maybe enough staff to be able to go down and educate our youths on the processes and the positive nature of taking this money for their own use, Madam Chair.
Very well. The last one, just a comment, is the member for Trans Nzoia County.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I want also to support this youth fund. Youth fund, Madam Chair, has really changed the lives of people, especially in rural areas. Because for the last 2 years ago, once somebody has just finished Form 4, always he will look for border. But nowadays we can see them, they are being empowered. Apart from maybe the rules that they have put in place, that if you want to get a loan or if you want to get such and such amount, you must maybe produce this and this, Madam Chair. Otherwise, Madam Chair, I wish the Chair also to make sure that those centers that he has said that one is already put in his area, we need those centers to be across the board so that also the youth can also enjoy it. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Very well. With that, honourable members, let me put the question, which is that, you want to say something, Chair?
Chair, there could be a notion that it's only Mwea that is having that center. I want to let the member know that Mwea could be one of the last ones. In the past 5 years, more than 25 have been put across the country. And so it's not just Mwea. They are all over. And you could check. Probably we have some in Trans Nzoia. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Thank you, Chair, for that. I know members are looking for including Kibwezi East, which we are requesting, yes. With that, members, I put the question, which is that the programs under the votes, 1244 as read out, and 1214 for correction. Let me put the question once more for correction and for answered, which is that the programs read under vote 1214 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as of that have been say aye, and as many as of a call have been say nay, the ayes have it. I put the global question, which is that the sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 3,457,120,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of votes 1214, the State Department for Youth Affairs. Members, as many as of that have been say aye, and as many as of a contrary have been say nay, the ayes have it.
For 1221, State Department for East African Affairs, Community.
I propose a question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 767,060,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1221, the State Department for East African Community.
Program under vote 1221, East African Affairs and Regional Integration.
I propose a question, which is that the program under vote 1221 as read out, the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I move to put the question, which is the program under vote 1221, as read out, and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as of the opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the global question, which is there are some not exceeding Kenya shillings 767,060,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1221, the State Department for East African Community. Members, as many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 1222, State Department for Regional and Northern Corridor Development.
I propose a question, which is there are some not exceeding Kenya shillings 5,108,534,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1222, the State Department for Regional and Northern Corridor Development.
Program under vote 1222, Integrated Regional Development.
I propose the question, which is that a program under vote 1222 as read out, and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I put the question, which is that the program under vote 1222 as read out, and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as of that opinion say aye, as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the global question to the vote, which there are some not exceeding Kenya shillings 5,108,534,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1222, the State Department for Regional and Northern Corridor Development. Members, as many as of that opinion say aye, as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 1252.
I propose a question.
Vote 1252, State Law Office and Department of Justice.
Members, I propose a question, which is there are some not exceeding Kenya shillings 5,402,870,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1252, State Law Office and Department of Justice.
Programs under vote 1252 are 1. Legal services, 2. Governance, legal training and constitutional affairs, and 3. General administration, planning and support services.
I propose the question, members, which is that the programs under votes 1252 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I move to put the question, which is that the programs under vote 1252 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the global question to the vote, which there are some not exceeding Kenya shillings 5,402,870,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1252, the State Law Office and the Department of Justice. Members, as many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 1271, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission.
Members, I propose a question, which is there are some not exceeding Kenya shillings 3,578,530,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1271, Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission.
Program under 1271, Ethics and Anti-Corruption.
I propose a question, members, which is that the program under votes 1271 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I move to put the question, which is that the programs under votes 1271 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Honorable members, as many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the global question, honorable members, to the vote, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 3,578,530,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, the recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1271 Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission. As many as are of this opinion say aye, and as many as have a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Next vote.
Vote 1281, National Intelligence Service.
Members, I propose a question which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 46,127,700,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1281 National Intelligence Service.
Programs under vote 1281, National Security Intelligence.
Members, I propose a question which is the program under vote 1281 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. Let me have the member for Moya.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. Let me, Honorable Chair, take this opportunity to really thank the National Intelligence Service in this country, Honorable Chair. Unknown to many Kenyans in this country, this is one department that is responsible for information that leads to peace that we have been enjoying in this country. And I want to commend and thank the young men and women who are having to have sleepless nights in the cold at our borders, gathering information that has seen this country, Honorable Chair, end this year without much problem in as far as the outroad gangs are concerned. This includes the Al-Shabaab, who has been invading this country anytime they want, but because of the improved NIS that we have in this country, we have enjoyed relative peace. We need to keep giving them more and more money so that we can strengthen them as much as we can. I thank them, Honorable Chair.
Very well. With that debate, members, I put the question, which is that the programs under vote 1281 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. I put the global question to the vote, which is that the sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 46,127,700,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum not exceeding to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure that is recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1281, the National Intelligence Service. As many as are of that opinion say aye. As many as of a contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it.
Vote 1291.
Members, I propose a question which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 3,326,950,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1291, Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions.
Program under for 1291, Public Prosecution Services.
Members, I propose a question which is that the program under vote 1291 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I put a question which is that the program under vote 1291 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as are of that opinion say aye. All the members, attention, all the members. You know, the member for Yatta is working to consult. I am put the question, which is that the program under vote 1291, as read out and sums allocated in the schedule, be approved. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it. So I move to put the question to the vote, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 3,326,950,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1291, Office of the Director of Public Prosecution. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? And as many as of a contrary opinion say nay? The ayes have it. Next vote.
Vote 1311, Office of the Registrar of Political Parties.
Honourable members, I propose the question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 2,126,850,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent development during the year ending 3rd June 2023 in respect of vote 1311, Office of the Registrar of Political Parties.
Program under vote 1311, Registration, Regulation, and Funding of Political Parties.
I propose a question, which is that the program under vote 1311 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I move to put the question of members, which is that the program under vote 1311 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay. Members, the ayes have it. I move to put the global question to the vote, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 2,126,850,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, which is recurrent development, during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1311, Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it. Next vote.
Vote 1321, Witness Protection Agency.
I propose a question on members, which there are some not exceeding Kenya shillings 649,070,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1321, the Witness Protection Agency.
Program under vote 1321, Witness Protection.
Members, I propose a question, which is that the program under vote 1321 as read out and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I remember, Fokolo, just a comment on this. Thank you. Give him the mic.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I just want to thank the CS Treasury for allocating the 649 million to the witness protection. However, I would want to indulge the chair budget, and hopefully, if he'll come back and be in the same position or whoever will be, that he considers, Honorable Chair, pushing for the Victim Protection Agency Board also to be given a line item in the budget. These are two bodies that go hand in hand, and Honorable Chair, we passed here the bill that that set up the Victims Protection Board within the Attorney General's chambers. So it's important that the National Treasury also allocates the resources to that board. Thank you, Honorable Chair.
Very well. With that debate on the members, I put the question, which is that the program under vote 1321 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it. I put the global question to the vote on our members, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 649,070,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, that is recurrent and development, during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect of vote 1321, the Witness Protection Agency. As many as of that opinion say aye, and as many as of a contrary opinion say nay, the ayes have it.
Vote 2011.
Sorry, clerk, carry on.
for 2011 Kenya National Commission on Human Rights.
I propose the question, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 464,360,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent and development during the year ending 30th June 2023 in respect to vote 2011 Kenya National Commission of Human Rights.
Program under for 2011 Protection and Promotion of Human Rights.
I propose a question on members, which is the program under vote 2011 as read out, and the sums allocated in the schedule be approved. I see no interest. And I move to put the question, which is the program under vote 2011 as read out and sums allocated in the schedule be approved. As many as of that have been say aye, and as many as of a contrary have been say nay, the ayes have it. I put the global question to vote 2011, which is that a sum not exceeding Kenya shillings 464,360,000 be issued from the consolidated fund to complete the sum necessary to meet the expenditure, recurrent development during the year ending that June 2023 in respect of vote 2011, the Kenya National Commission of Human Rights. Remember, as many as of that have been say aye, and as many as of a contrary have been say nay, the ayes have it.
Kupata lazima nishike kama skiza tune yako, bonyeza *811 *962 hash.
Lazima nishike mapema. Nisiposhika hii simu mapema utakasirika. Unajua mimi nikiwa mtu ya marathon najua niko na experience kabisa. Niko na experience. If you don't hurry, you will not break the record. Okay, wacha nishike hii simu.
Kupata lazima nishike, bonyeza *811 *962 hash. *811 *962 hash. Jumapili hii kwenye runinga ya KBC, ungana naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa la Christian Foundation Fellowship Kiambu kuanzia saa 1 hadi saa 2 asubuhi.
Ningetaka nikwambie, our Jehovah God, because the Bible says he is the same yesterday, today and forevermore. He is able to take you to a place of abundance. He is able to take you to Rehoboth in the name of Jesus Christ.
Kipindi ni neno la neema, ukiletewa naye Askofu Michael Wanderi wa kanisa la Christian Foundation Fellowship Kiambu. Usikose.
My trust is in you.
Tarehe 28 Mei, barabara zote zinaelekea Harris Tavern, Nairobi. Manake kutakuwa na kongamano kubwa sana la rumba siku hiyo. Kikosi kizima cha Bridge Over Congo kimeandaa tamasha kali sana kwa nyinyi wapenzi wa muziki wa rumba.
Oh yes, there will be lots of fun. Talk of nyama choma, lots of drinks, lots of giveaways from KBC, and not forgetting to mention rumba music with DJ Walter. Oh, and did I mention that there'll be free t-shirts for the first 100 people.
Nitakuwa siku hiyo. Tafuta sheri. Kama una sheri, omba sheri. Nitakuwa your host Simeon Mfumo with my running mate
Winnie Marie Jose. Yay!